Hey chat. Oh my god. What is up? What's going on? What is going on with me indeed? Wait, can you hear me? Yes, I hope so. Put this microphone back up. Yes, there we go. And wait, can we get our gator in here? Yeah, I think we can. Look. I didn't want to tell Vaush, but yeah. I actually do have a gator. Yeah. Anyway, we should get started, because we've got a debate to do. I don't know. On my Twitch streams, I always kind of like fuck around for like 30 minutes. I call it the douchebag buffer, right? It's the part at the very beginning of the stream where I try to like get rid of anybody who's like not, you know, fully committed to the no comment chick lifestyle. You know, I try to like scare them off by being a weirdo and talking about my sneeze-gasms and other stuff like that, right? Other stories that I tell, but this is different. This is YouTube, and YouTube is a little bit serious business when it comes to debates. So I'm going to try to be serious business for you today and not talk over the debates. I'm going to be the sweetie that, like, you know, cares about your feelings and, you know, wants you to be comfortable and not feel like I'm talking over any of the people that I'm covering, because, you know, they're all super heckin' valid. Just like you, chat. Just like you. All right, let's get started. This is Destiny's reaction to Vaush Demon Mama.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't care about Demon Mama and Vaush talking, okay? I don't care. We're already listening to one panel. Go listen to it if you want to listen to it.
But, you know, it's...
Okay, we'll watch the Vaush thing. All right, that's what you guys want to see. All right.
So he didn't want to do it. He's
go.
resisting.
This is part of the problem.
He's not a drama streamer like no comment, not like NCC.
Every time you were doing the concern trolling, Vaush. Wait, you're talking about this entire thing has been predicated on issue that functionally doesn't exist. That you've admitted online. Oh, actually, every Pride event is actually pretty much the same. They're all fine actually.
I've never said otherwise. Wait, I didn't say all.
Yes,
but yeah,
you
most
have.
Oh, his prior tweet came back to fuck him.
No, I didn't.
The one that I was blowing up on Twitter.
Wait, why do you
Other people probably
the
were
reason
too.
I got mad was it people in my chat.
He's still
rather
playing
than
Terraria,
existing
chat.
Pride
No.
events. It was because people in chat.
I'm like
gave
wanting to play
insane
Terraria
defenses
now.
to the
I haven't played
extreme
Terraria in forever.
minority Of cases where I do think that stuff like this is done irresponsibly.
Chat, would you be down for that if I like played video games like while I watch
criticisms at Pride events?
like stuff
the only
like
the
Destiny
only
does?
I don't agree with you on that, but
I have a feeling you have to be
I was
Steven to
only
get away with that.
criticizing the behavior of
So
people
Vaush.
you
online.
tell me right now, if I go back and watch your videos, I'm not gonna find a single argument that could be construed as against Pride.
Depends
because
on what you mean by
I think that you're wrong about that.
construed.
Didn't you literally? Wait a second. Hold on a minute. Didn't you literally title your video "Kink at Pride"?
Fuck off, Steel.
Yeah, that is the title.
Dude, come on.
And then
This is so
look at the-
disingenuous.
No, that's called.
That is. Wait, no. I'm sorry. No, Vaush, I can't accept this. You know that you've been engaging in the Kink at Pride discourse. If you aren't clear about what you're talking about, if you aren't clear when you are saying,
That's
"Oh,
a thumbnail
puppy,"
and a title.
No,
That's the name of
I'm
the
not talking just
discourse.
about that. It's the entire discourse. You've been doing this the entire time, and this is one of the things I've been frustrated with, is that in all your videos, you're not clear about what you're actually talking about. And then if people argue back at you, you treat them like they're being a pedophile. You will, in fact, you can say, no, this isn't, nope. I'm sorry.
No, you're
you can
wrong.
go watch the video.
The idea that every time somebody disagrees with me, I call. No, wait.
Oh my God.
You can say you're wrong, but your videos speak for themselves. Your videos speak for themselves.
Okay, hold on, because we're being watched right now by people who have watched my videos. Chat, was my video, multiple videos, were they about existing Pride, or were they about behavior of lefties online?
Meow meow meow.
Or were they maybe not clear in what they were
Terraria
about?
kind of
Chat?
sucks.
If your argument
to be
is that I
honest.
could've been-
Wait, hold on. Let me ask this. Let's ask a little fair
Video
question. 'cause
game
I know
reacts
that-
Oh
can be
no,
fun.
Vaush's audience.
Real quick question.
I would do,
Anybody in
Demon
Demon Mama
let's
should
be
never
honest.
debate
Let's
again.
try to
She's
be
always so annoying.
Anybody
Yeah,
in
I'm
chat,
not, because
were
Demon Mama's
any of you
killing this fucking
unclear
stream.
about what Vaush was talking about in any of his Kink on Pride videos?
I think she did a good
You
job.
literally purged
What are you
everyone who
talking
disagreed
about?
with you, Vaush. Of course your chat agrees with you.
Or are you unclear about what he was talking
Wait,
about?
is he reading
I
chat?
feel like
Wait,
I
let
was
me.
fairly specific
We're gonna have to go in.
criticizing the
We're gonna have to go in
behavior
close,
of
chat. Computer
Everyone tell trans
enhanced.
people they need to calm down when they get
Computer
passionate. I
enhanced.
see DM getting that a lot, where non-trans people, especially cis men, don't face such comments when they engage with the same amount of passion.
You are reading into it.
This is
You are
cathartic. I'm sorry.
This is not reading.
Even the community's criticisms of Vaush are controlled.
Vaush, I'm sorry.
Wait, is he reading chat? He's reading
Out of
chat.
this thing. Oh, people
Yeah.
are reading into it. When your response is people who disagree with me are pedos.
This is a very
I'm going to ban
Irene
them from my
stream
chat.
for
I'm
Steven
going
to
do
be-
these things. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. That
so
anybody
now
who
you're
disagrees,
the one
excuse
being-
me.
Oh my god,
anybody
chat.
who
Excuse me.
It wouldn't be a stream
anybody
if
who
I didn't have
disagrees,
lipstick on my
I can
tooth.
bring you up literal quotes.
That's my thing. That's what I'm known for. Lipstick on the
Literal.
teeth.
And
It's
I'm
really
I
sexy.
can't put on the screen. I can't do a stream segment while you're doing a stream segment.
Okay,
But I
so
can.
the problem right now
Wait,
is that you're
that
being
I didn't
incredibly
understand,
honest.
chat. Do you
I'm not
understand
getting
why
into it.
Demon
It's like
Mama
Demon
can't
Mama,
do?
please,
Oh,
please,
hey,
please, please,
wrong chat on
please.
screen. I know.
First
I
of all,
know.
you are absolutely reading into stuff that I said.
Is
because
the
I
Holy
feel like
Collider
it was
good? Is it
very
better than my
obvious
Biome
which
Blade?
groups I was targeting in my criticism. Second
don't
of all,
think so.
your repeated deferences to, and then everyone who disagrees with anything they say that you're a pedophile. This is not the case.
Oh,
Apart
true
from a
melee.
couple of-
Said that.
No,
Please
fuck
let
that.
me finish.
Please let me
Apart
finish.
from a couple of very obviously hyperbolic and overly broad, frustrated accusations that I saw after, mind you, seeing some really shitty stuff.
You
in my
never played
chat.
Terraria
Some
before?
Stuff that really looked
I
like
actually
pedo
haven't either. I've
apologia to
seen
me
a
in
lot
my
of
chat.
gameplay,
I
though.
got frustrated. Is that
A lot of my
actually
friends
good?
played
Or is it
Terraria.
categorically effective? No, it isn't. I already.
It's kind of
agree with that.
amazing that I
But the
haven't
idea
played
that
it
The entire
yet.
discourse that I've been engaging in has been defined.
seems
by
like a
me
game that I would
making
like.
unspecific
I don't know, it's
statements
like
and accusing
survival
everyone who has
and-
any problem with that of being a pedophile is not true. That is just not true.
I disagree with you. I think I do. And listen, I'm not saying that you've been like literally accusing Big Joel and everybody else of being a pedophile, but I think that the videos that you put
Wait,
out, and
does-
I'm glad that you're willing to admit here, right now, that yeah, you were really careless with that. But I think that it goes beyond that because first of all, those things, those careless moments ended up in your videos that
Wait,
you
how do I
published
use
as
this?
well.
No, wait, that's his whole video,
about this
right?
particular issue, and I don't believe that you're as clear as you were. I took notes this morning on this
You need to
video
charge it?
before I even came in to even think
So
about it.
Steven's
Before
not
I
even
thought about
watching
doing any sort
them.
of response to you because
We're just getting
I
Steven
couldn't
playing.
figure out what the fuck you were trying to
How do I
talk about.
charge it?
You have examples all over the place in here, from people having their tits out in New York to flashers being similar to Pride Kink.
Wait,
which,
hold on. Wait. This is what I mean by you not knowing what you're
Good
talking
afternoon,
about.
meow
because the things
meows.
that you just listed were me giving descriptions of the ways in which cultural.
We're gonna try to
context
do
could
an
validate the
afternoon
legitimacy
stream,
of
maybe.
public nudity. These were
I don't know if
not
I could do it
comparisons to
every
Pride. You can't
weekday,
just
but
hear
maybe
one
most
key
weekdays.
words and then just say, "Oh,
No,
this is a comparison
no,
to Pride."
okay. That's not
The
what
reason
I'm doing. What I'm
is,
saying is that
my
I can go
Twitch
back and I
audience
can watch
is
through your
mostly
video and I can
EU,
point out that there's a lack
and
of
they're
clarity
asleep
on what
right
you're saying,
now, but
and
I'm
then at the
not.
same time,
Chat,
So
was
there's
that
no
clear?
reason for me not to be
I feel like
streaming.
it was pretty obvious. I was just
incredible.
saying that public nudity is
I'm doing the
very
thing again. I'm doing the
What's
thing
the name of
again.
the charging
culturally
thing?
relevant. Again, like this is what I mean.
Okay, chat. I know. It's important for me to pause before I say things that are like housekeeping. Hi, chat. Yeah. So like housekeeping wise, like we did an afternoon stream yesterday, and it actually feels like a good idea to kind of just like do an afternoon YouTube stream. And that way, you know, it doesn't really matter that I'm streaming at the time that most of my Twitch audience is fast asleep because they are European. And whereas you, my YouTube audience, you tend to not be European. So you always miss my shit because I'm up too late, right? On Twitch. So now you can catch at least one no comment stream per day. And we'll try to split up like what we're doing. You know, do a debate or something here and then do something else fun over there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
By reading, this is the bad faith I'm talking about. The
Wait,
reason
what do
I
you
get
mean? Wait,
frustrated
now
is
I'm bad faith. You think I'm in bad faith right now?
I think that you are reading my statements
What am I reading into your statements?
inaccurately enough that it's
Okay.
approximating the behavior of people who speak to me in bad faith. This is why I get so
Okay, I see.
frustrated.
Yeah, bad faith demon mama. Okay.
Do you not like
No,
like, hop
you just
away?
did it.
No, I said it's approximating the behavior. I can't speak
Okay.
to your intentionality, but don't act like a child when I make this point. It's very
Wait,
frustrating. I put a lot of thought into some of the stuff that
Dude,
I say.
I put a lot of
and
thought
so-
into this.
I know.
Well,
Please let me. And it's frustrating to me when I try to make a salient example on like public nudity.
Chat,
but
let
then
me know if
you
you
just
get bored
bring
with
up that
the, I know
example
we've
as just part of
watched-
a list of things that I am.
We've watched
apparently
this
comparing
debate
to.
once
because
before,
you are-
and some
because
of
you
you
are
might have seen it on
simultaneously
more than
asking
just
for me to
me.
give you my overall critique and
Um,
specific examples of things that I don't think
That's
served
what's
your
going
argument
on.
well.
Okay.
Like,
There we go.
I can make you, like, I don't know.
That's how I'll bring
This whole
light
thing is like,
should
I don't
be.
think, I think it's
Am I
that
right?
in your videos, and I think, you know what, I'm gonna
Maybe?
make a small
No, I
appeal
can't
here.
get it to go.
I think that the sheer level of shitstorm that this has created.
How do I make
indicates
these power cells?
and I know there's a lot of people who don't like.
A
I know
power
there's a lot of
cell
people who don't like
factory?
me, but this is a level of unclarity
Yeah.
that has been going on for days. Nearly every single other content creator that you engage with, even people who are friendly with you, have been confused about your take on this because you haven't been clear.
I
And
disagree.
At the same time,
I
hold on,
think
I'm not
it's-
done. No,
Okay.
Vaush, come on.
All right.
I-
My apologies. I'll
finish.
let you speak more. Okay.
Okay, so who's being a child now?
Steven
Just
is
try-
being
I
a
need
child
to-
now.
Okay.
Nice. I caught that. I caught that. It's all right.
Oh no.
It's all good. Listen, people.
Chat, we're all
that-
like
that
one big
also
happy
respect you,
family,
have been
right?
Confused about your position, and at the same time of being very vague about what exactly you're talking about, naming your videos Pride at Kink, but sometimes referring to other things.
Do these
doing
stack in here,
all
or-
kinds of changes where so you'll say something like, I just think that anybody who disagrees with
Who
me
would I be in this family?
is got some weird pedo shit going on, and then 5 minutes later you say, well, no, I'm actually only talking about this specific thing, which I consider a Mott and Bailey, especially when you're
Jesus.
using at the same time as all of that. You're going in super hard on saying that people who disagree with you are a pedo, and I don't think you're clear about who you're saying that is. And I'm
Some of the
hardly
takes
only
on-
one who
yeah,
thinks
I
this,
agree.
okay?
I agree,
It's not like
Otaku
I'm
Anthony.
inventing this out of nowhere.
I'm
And
a
I
little
don't
bit
even
tired
think-
about-
and Vaush,
of
I don't think
this
you can just say that this is bad faith.
Discourse.
Because there's people who love your shit. I
It
know
just
for a
feels like
fact, I
there's
know people
other
from my
stuff that I
community,
need
people who are members of
to
my mod team who got banned from your chat for
cover.
just disagreeing with you. And I don't think, and
Yeah.
I saw their logs.
Then
so I'm
I
just
would
saying,
like to see
do
their
you
logs.
Think, wait, Vaush, do you think
Friendship.
it's possible that maybe you just fired a little over the gun and have been doubling down a whole lot on that fucking rhetoric?
What take do you think I'm doubling down on?
I think you're doubling down on your rhetoric, and you're not just willing to admit that.
What
Holy
rhetoric?
shit! Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been
Wait,
blasting
hold on, just a
around
second, really quick from chat. Vaush, you blocked Gayfesh for nothing, lol. After I blocked
So-
Gayfesh, I saw that fucker on Twitter.
Wait,
saying
I
that
think
I've
they
been
made
sucking
up. I
up
think
dick
they're
to
okay
have
now.
opinion on
I was in
Vaush.
Chud Logic stream
Nah,
this
fuck
morning,
that person,
and I think
okay?
Vaush and
Don't care
Gayfesh
for a
are,
long time,
are back
chat.
on.
These malicious
On the
opinions
path of
pop out the
friendship,
moment you
chat.
disagree
Just
with
like all of
Oh,
us.
no.
Just like all of us will one day be friends again, right, Destiny?
Instantly start
Vaush.
Mhm.
showing their
I gotta
ass.
stop. I gotta stop
Right-
you there.
right,
because I
Vaush?
understand that, like,
Yeah?
you're frustrated, but at the same time, like,
Why are
you're
you interrupting
ignoring
me?
your own.
Leftist unity.
Wait,
It's a
why are you
beautiful
ignoring
thing.
Your own. No, because the reason why I'm interrupting is because it's like it's one thing to say, oh, this person said an asshole thing on Twitter, but you said asshole things as
Oh my
well.
God.
You said in a moment of
That's
frustration
kinda
to
cool.
your
I
I
just
didn't even
trashed
think.
your
Oh my god,
batteries.
chat! I
you
didn't
argue,
even.
oh, you're just a pedo. That's a pretty fucking fucked up thing to say to people. Yeah, maybe some people are gonna get a little mad and they're gonna say you haven't sucked enough dick.
Chat.
That's also shitty. But you called them a
Are
pedo.
you really defending this?
No, I'm not defending it. I'm saying that you can't just present one side of that. Yeah, obviously people are gonna be
Wait,
fucking shitty.
presenting
But this is
one
definitely
side of that would imply
That's
that
the
I haven't
uncle.
already acknowledged that I have hyperbolic
Uncle Alex
assaults
Jones.
against pedophiles, which I have done
yes,
now. How
just
many?
acknowledging it, just acknowledging. Oh yeah,
Can
I
we
was
move on
slightly
from
hyper.
that? Because I've already said no. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I
sure. If you don't
poisoned the
want to
well.
talk about it, if you don't want to talk about how you, not just.
What do you mean
It's
don't
not
wanna
just a
talk
just
about it?
poison
I
the well.
opened
If you don't
with
want
it.
to talk, no, you didn't. You've been defending your position. You've been defending the language.
That's
that
pretty
you've used, your
good. I
rhetoric
think
this
Briska
entire
really
time. You've been
probably
downplaying
values
acting like-
friendship.
No,
wait, you
hold on.
keep. Wait,
I
you
look for
keep
I need
going
mythical
back.
Just
or
like me,
legendary.
chat.
The
Just
only
like
thing
me.
I've defended with
Going
regards
back to
pedo-
what?
Or godly.
The only
No.
pedo accusation rhetoric that I've doubled down on
I need
was
to-
were the ones that I gave later on, where I was specifically
godly the
describing
best?
the types of defenses that made me really suspect of people's intentions. At the very least, it feels like it's
Legendary gives you
enabling
speed too,
certain
though. Do I
types
really want
of
something with no
defenses that I'm
speed?
very uncomfortable with. Apart from that, the stuff that wasn't that, for like the fourth time, yeah, it was hyperbolic
Oh.
bad faith well poisoning. I've already acknowledged that.
Oh my
I
Legendary
shit.
only
just
for
don't.
sword, gotcha.
I'm not as bothered by this as you, because as far as I'm concerned, this entire discourse has been hyperbolic bad faith well poisoning. The only difference is I was the one who came out with an argument in addition to it, and it felt like nobody else came out with one. Like, sure,
Oh,
like,
RGR
I
had some
got in
takes on the
muck, I
panel.
jumped in the
Wait.
toilet, sure, but I came out with an argument. And I defended
Otaku,
it.
we
Now,
we
and
covered
that's
that
what
debate last night. Did you see that on Twitch?
Okay. I
It might have
if you
been,
don't
like,
wanna-
it was
again,
pretty
if
late.
You don't want
It's
to talk
pretty
about,
late.
If you don't want to
But
talk about,
We covered the
Yeah,
first
what's
half
more-
of that
what more is
debate.
there to talk
We
about?
didn't cover the
I mean,
Samantha
I think
Banana
that- I think you're not- I don't
aristocracy
think you're taking that
TV
seriously.
portion.
I don't think you're taking seriously
but
the
I guess there's
sheer
always
amount of
tonight.
hyperbole. And I think that as a result of
There's
that,
plenty of
you're
trashy
downplaying
content out there,
just
chat.
how fucking out of line you were with that rhetoric. That was my main critique, and that is my main critique. I think I would, I'd love to have a actual conversation about the boundaries of kink at Pride. In fact, oh God, I even was thinking about doing that on stream before I got called a pedo by a fuckload of people on Twitter for even saying I was going to talk about a take that was different than yours. I didn't even know you'd made a video about it yet. So sorry, but
Wait, what do you mean by fuckload of people?
Isn't
I'd
that the
to see some
joke? Like,
evidence that there was
what's your opinion on
my
X?
fans.
And the answer is, I don't
never
know.
said it was
Vaush
your
hasn't
fans.
made a video on it yet.
Who listens
I never
to
even
me except
implied
from
it was
my
your
fans?
fans.
Wait, who listens to me except from my fans?
I never even said it was your.
I listen to you,
What are you
Vaush,
talking about?
and I'm not your
What am I
fan.
getting
How am
at
I
here? I never even said it was you. I
Then
didn't
what's
say
the
you were
link?
responsible for it. I'm saying that. Wait, what? I was just telling you my experience with the discourse. That I mean, to be fair, your video kicked it off. Your video kicked it off. Your video kicked it off with everybody reacting to it. And in that video, you said some pretty easily not even.
feel like
The
not even
implication
I keep
really
on feeling like I have
seemed
lipstick
you
on
were
my
saying
tooth,
it
chat.
was
I'm
my
paranoid now.
fans. But okay,
Once
if you're just
bitten,
saying, like, I
twice
just made those
shy.
accusations, then it was also
Once
like a
lipstick,
separate
twice.
group of people, then okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know. Like, I don't think there's any contention between us about the fact that if you have a big platform.
chat,
you
I
can
guess he already
start
beat
discourse,
Moonlord
and
then?
if you poison that discourse to a degree that discourse can be almost unresolvable. And I believe that with you starting this.
Still malding. Okay, so yeah, I guess he beat Moonlord the other day, right? That's yeah. So chat, when I saw that on his I think I was watching this stream because I like needed to watch the debate or the one with Moonlord on it, right? I legit thought that we're talking about Moonlord from Tempool. I thought Destiny was debating Moonlord, and I was like, I'm so here for this. No, Destiny's fighting Moonlord in fucking Terraria. I felt so let down. Completely just like, no. You know, I was ready for that Moonlord debate, chat. Destiny, if you ever want to cover Moonlord, I am so here for it.
Entire
Let me be your moderator, Destiny. I will moderate between you and Moonlord and make sure that the debate is nice and fair.
discourse, being very careless by blasting entire groups of people who may or may not disagree with you, being unclear who it was you were saying that they're pedophiles. While we're talking about
we've already
Pride,
said this, yeah. Though
Yes,
I
but
do,
I
though I
want-
do.
We
For
have
what it's worth, though,
I don't
already
want you to
gone
know, but Vaush,
over this.
Vaush, I don't want you to downplay it. Okay?
First of
Because
all,
this is something I take seriously.
What you could say is me downplaying it is apparently me acknowledging it and addressing it like
No,
eight
no,
times
don't,
over the
no,
course
no.
of this
I'm sorry. I'm
conversation.
not gonna.
Sorry,
fight
Vaush.
it,
I'm not gonna let you get away with that
All
one.
you have, you just come on to virtue signal.
There you
like,
go.
why don't
You're
we
literally
continue
doing it
talking?
again. You're just no. See, you say, oh, is that literally all you have? Vaush, half of your fucking content is critiquing people's rhetoric.
Try to keep
When
them
I
all
videos
together.
did-
101.
The critique.
In some moments,
Okay,
yeah.
good. So you admit that you completely destroyed the discourse, and that
No,
that
I think
you
that I poisoned the
blowing
well.
accusations at the beginning
Yes.
of pedophilia has had a knock-on effect that may have reached beyond your fan base.
Sorry, chat. I always have to
Yes?
practice
Or
my
Repeat the last
my
statement.
Muay
Vaush
Thai
like,
stuff.
Fuck, I shouldn't have
Do you
copied
think
Destiny's
that
take on this
your
one. Oh
very
no.
careless use
We've
of
control V'd for the
pedophilia,
last time.
As soon as I get moved,
or
we'll be able to do some
insult or whatever you
kickboxing
wanna
on
call it, I don't
stream.
care
So
which
look
word you
forward to
use.
that. Actually seeing
Poisoned the
some.
discourse to a degree that it had
If you
had
like-
repercussions beyond your
If you
fan.
want to see me
You know
kick
what?
things really hard, then
No.
you'll like that.
I think that it's the
Okay. You'll
responsibility
appreciate
of the
that.
community to have better takes on this, and I saw literally
Oh,
thousands of people.
God.
Hold on. And I saw
Uh-oh.
literally thousands of people
You
giving
just-
takes that I felt were adjacent to justifying child abuse. And when I pointed that out, everyone was acting as though I was jabbing at ghosts. That was extremely frustrating
Yeah,
for me.
because you
And I'll say, wait, hold on. And you're doing it too. You're saying they don't exist. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Maybe
not
the
saying
reason this
don't-
got so
I'm not saying
hyperbolic
so.
is because people like you aren't willing to accept any broader
Oh,
criticisms
yes.
of the
It's people
community's
like me.
behavior.
Yes, exactly. Oh, it's absolutely
People
like
like
me that made
you,
this. When
okay.
You started this fucking thing.
No.
with a video
I don't
where
think
you
he's saying
threw
it like
accusations
that.
of
I don't think he's
pedophilia
saying- I don't think he has
completely
any-
vaguely based on things you don't even know.
I'm
which
not. I'm
topic
gonna
was.
try to read this
Wait,
as
hold on.
charitable
I
as
know
possible
the
because,
one
like,
I'm
chat,
talking
I don't like to
about.
see
I know
Vaush
which
like
topic I was
this.
talking about.
Excuse me. You make
Like,
a
look,
video.
let me pause it
Kink
for a
at
second,
Pride,
okay?
Where you repeatedly mention Pride. You repeatedly name drop Pride, and then when I say,
Listen, I don't love everything that Vaush does. I'm also not a hater, okay? I don't try to, like, concentrate on what Vaush does wrong. Like, if there's, you know, something that I can work with Vaush on, I would do that, but obviously there's a lot of his takes that I just cannot, like, you know, like, sign on to, right? Or there's, you know, I mean, I have questions kind of about, like, how... Anyway, I try to have a very nuanced view of people in general. I never want to attack the person. I always want to attack the take. So that's generally how I wrote. Just in case you're confused, because you might have heard some weird things about me, that I like to have fights with people, that I like drama, and that I'm like making a lot of money off of it, you know? And it's absolutely not just untrue, but it's kind of Darvo. It's actually kind of Darvo, right? I got attacked, I got hurt, I got stunted for doing the right thing in a very difficult situation. So, yeah, there's that.
No, that doesn't really line up with your other statements. Then you say, well, I wasn't talking about Pride necessarily, but your video was titled Pride. You say the name.
But yeah, I just don't want anybody thinking that I'm like enjoying Vaush's pain here, because it actually kind of, I was feeling like more empathy for him than I really wanted to the other day. Actually, I legit feel bad for him in a few moments of this debate.
Pride millions of times in your video, not millions. You say it many, many times in your videos. You say
Chat seems
pride,
clear
pride,
on
pride,
my
pride.
intentions. I mean,
That's
I feel like
that's literally the opposite of clear, Vaush. That's you telling people that, oh, I said all these words and I wasn't clear in my arguments, and people were confused.
I have to defer
and
to
then
public
they responded.
opinion on this because I feel like I was being clear. Are there ways to be clearer? Of course,
Well,
there's literally always a way to be clearer.
There's
but it
always a
seems
way to
like
be
people who
clearer.
actually follow what I say and listen to the words coming out of my mouth understood what I was saying. There does
Do
seem
you
to be
think
some disagreement, but I don't know how much of that disagreement is willful misinterpretation of what I've said. And judging
Okay,
from
so
some of
do you-
the arguments that you've made, I can't trust you either because you've also
nice.
cited things
Okay,
inaccurately.
cool.
So I don't have an
Vaush,
objective.
nope. Like I don't.
I mean, I don't trust
like, this is-
anybody
that's fucking
in
stupid.
online
Like, if you don't think
spaces.
that
You know what
me
I
of all
mean?
people is
There's
gonna go fucking
I'm exaggerating. I
Okay,
trust
you
my
didn't- You
friends.
didn't come to provide.
All
I trust my
anything.
community.
It's a virtue
Hey, Vaush.
signal.
Like
No,
I
wait,
trust
I
a
brought
few
up exactly
cool
what I
creators, but
See, this is
beyond
what I'm talking
that,
about. Like, and you're gonna call me.
There's a lot of
child of this,
perverse
but all right, if
incentives,
that's what
let's
you
just
think, if
say.
you really think that, by the way, you literally seeded.
There's
on
a lot of
my-
good
on my
people
actual core
here
argument, which is that your rhetoric was
in the
ridiculously
online political
irresponsible.
space
And it
Wait,
was.
I didn't
It
say
was
doing
very
slightly bad
irresponsible.
things
You keep acting like this is some win.
For
This is what I said first.
clout.
off. Like
I don't think it's a win.
for
I think this
power
is fucking stupid.
to expand
I
their
think this has been
platform.
completely stupid, and I think you started
Why-
it with the stupidity.
But I acknowledge, like, it doesn't even feel like you came to have a conversation. It feels
Wait,
like.
wait.
you
Oh
just
my
explained
god,
those.
this is so
No,
cathartic.
no,
Language that
not
I
at
use.
all. You were defending your positions when I walked into the stream, and I responded
What
to that.
positions do you have a problem with? We are now how long into
I'm
this,
sorry.
and
I'm
you
sorry.
still haven't given me
I'm
a
sorry.
position.
I misspoke in saying
Oh
position.
my god,
I
my
should
nails
say
are all fucked up,
rhetoric in
chat. I
this
need to
rhetoric.
redo my nails.
So you think my
rhetoric,
position
yes.
is fine?
Wait,
You-
sorry,
I very
sorry,
much.
Can
Hey,
I get
Rebecca,
here on the record?
how
Do you think
are you
rhetoric is
doing?
frivolous
Meow,
or
meow.
stupid? Or
I
are
just-
you not like literally the rhetorician online?
So
The
early on in this
rhetorician.
conversation, you said you had multiple criticisms of my position.
Steven's
as
like,
well, but I guess
excuse
you're
me?
referring entirely
Excuse
to
me?
the
No,
rhetorical
we
thing.
can. If you want to talk about if you want to talk
Okay.
about positions on King
Can I
Pride,
just
sure.
ask you a couple questions? They're not like
Yes,
leading
sure.
questions. I just want to ask for your
Please, go for it.
perspective. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's important that a major section of Pride events held in cities should be made accessible and family friendly so that people who may not be comfortable with overtly kinky or sexual content can still go and learn about the community, experience stuff like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think that's already the case. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure,
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
we're in
But
agreement on that.
I mean, but I don't think that means that we should get kink out of Pride. I don't think
I
that
didn't-
anything. I just think that, yeah, sure. If you want to have certain areas that are family friendly, sure, that's
you
fine.
can look at my
But just
tweets
keep in mind.
and my
Hold on,
video to
hold on.
find me saying I'm fine with kink at Pride. I
Chat,
just want a section of it.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna make this go a little bit
you watched my
faster,
video,
just because like
right?
I'm more
Yes, I
watched
interested
your
in.
video.
Did
yes,
you just
but-
What
look at the
Destiny says
thumbnail?
after?
Did you just look at
No,
the
I did not
thumbnail?
just look at the thumbnail. Vaush, you want me to fucking
seems
screen
like
share
he's
with you?
just,
I've
like,
got a fucking
listening to
entire
it.
document of things that I did. Who do you
Doesn't
think
seem
I am?
like he's like
Do you
really
think I'm just some fucking
commenting.
jester? I fucking take this shit seriously. You know I fucking go through this
Oh!
shit. Like, yes, I know.
Oh, chat, that's where the Jester meme came from. I didn't realize that. Oh, so she actually says this. Well, in some ways, she is speaking truth to power, so the Jester, thing fits, and it's not necessarily, like, a bad thing, right?
You've said various things all over the
Although, I guess the thing about the Jester would be the Jester would say the important things to the... Oh, as a joke. Because that was the way that they'd be accepted. As, like, not... Okay, anyway.
And that's the problem that I have with this entire thing, is that you've been saying...
Sorry,
it
chat.
This whole thing is so
and when you're
quotable.
pressed on certain
Sorry,
issues,
chat.
You act as though anybody
I
disagrees.
feel like anytime these two open their mouths, it's like a fucking new
Irene just realized something new about, like, the fucking archetype of the Jester.
copy pasta. you think I'm a fucking jester?
Kink and pride, as long as there's an area
I don't
or a
think
section or a time period where children or whatever can go without, like,
I think that
Children or
if I- and if
whatever?
I'm
this
not
is the
Okay,
mistaken-
anyway,
frustration.
I'm not
I feel
gonna-
like I'm being gaslit. Like, how many times do I have to
Gaslighting.
say
Oh,
this
no.
over and over?
Am I being gaslit?
Like, it's in the video. It's in. The
Oh, Demon Mama's making a face right now. Fuck,
in
I gotta see it.
today's
I know she's
stream.
making a face
It's
right
in
now.
the
How do I see it?
conversation I'm having with you right now.
She's going like, what? She's doing that. Oh, fuck.
So you're accusing me of gaslighting
You
now?
can't see
or-
it.
Can
She's
you
not on
just
screen.
respond?
She's not on
Demon
screen.
Mama.
Rather
Vaush
than
makes a
TV
comment about this
backing up
too.
and saying,
Vaush-
"Oh,
What are
you're
you
daring
talking-
to."
Wait a minute,
Come on,
that's a
just-
good thing.
Oh, she's
oh
on
my
stream.
god.
I wonder if she still makes a face even when she's not streaming.
Like,
But-
okay,
So,
what,
okay,
how am I
Chat.
gaslighting you?
Okay.
That's an advantage
Just
to
tell me, come
her.
on.
Just tell me. Come on,
Wait,
how are
I
you
just said.
Vaush
this
was
is a
trying to
joke.
play
I
off
just
her
said
facial
I've been
expression,
very clear that I'm okay
but
with kink and
there was no
pride. I
expression,
think
right?
Everything has its place. I just explained.
So that's okay. Then that's great.
Isn't
If that's
that
your
weird,
position,
though? You'd
that's
think that
fine.
her
I don't- that
expressions
is not the
wouldn't be
impression
like
that
a
I got from your initial
liability,
videos.
but
I
maybe
do
they
have to
are.
acknowledge that there was a tweet in which you said, "Yeah, I'm fine with most of this." But
What do you
I
think,
don't
chat?
That your rhetoric in the initial videos or the way that you approached your arguments in those initial videos even came close. No, sure. If you want
Chat, I gotta know what you think. Are Mama's expressions being visible to her debate opponent and the audience, is that a liability or an asset? What do you think? And also, if you get tired of that question, you can answer, what about Irene's reactions? Does Irene benefit from being off camera? Does Irene benefit from probably being on camera? I'm hoping my expressions are a good thing, right? I don't know. They could be. If I'm like, I think the one time that I've had an expression that really counted against me in a debate was when I was debating Mixed Vivian, and like she was like posting some major cringe, and I started to like smile in a very evil way. And it like fed into this like narrative that I was like bullying her, like, right? Because it was, you know, kind of a, yeah, I was on the attack at that moment in the debate. Anyway, it didn't look good. It wasn't a good look, Sweaty. I won the debate, but I lost the PR, right? Everybody felt sorry for Mixed Vivian afterwards. So that's, you learn, you live and you learn, huh? Yeah, it's not always about winning the debate, is it? That's especially true with these people. Like, I can't comment enough on how you can absolutely destroy somebody in a debate, but if they win the PR war against you and characterize that victory that you had as somehow, like, you know, ill-gotten, that's real. That's real, and that counts, and that's bullshit, and it shouldn't. It's like somebody losing a fucking basketball game, and then they, like, successfully argue for the results to be overturned somehow. Yeah, it's fucked up that can happen, but it especially when you've got a difference in size of platform, right? Okay, back to the fairy tale, back to the show. People who use she makes faces as an attack are being misogynistic. Okay, so do you think that it's generally, yeah, that is true. That is true. I don't think that Steven gets attacked for his faces. Vaush isn't as facially expressive, right? But in general, then do you think it's in the debate sphere, is it kind of used against women as a like, oh, she's being histrionic? Hysterical, even. There are pros and cons. It can work both ways. Yeah, probably probably a lot of nuance. Okay.
Say that that's where your position is now. That's great. That's fine. I never disagree with you on that. But
Always
in the
the
process
position,
of getting to that, no, I don't agree with you on that. I don't think your initial videos were that clear. I think this is a situation where there's been a walk back and you're acting as though people responding to your initial critiques, people saying, hey, this rhetoric was problematic, this argument was not good, are like somehow like fucking insane.
Every
or
streamer
gaslighting you because they're
makes
saying,
exaggerated
hey, you said
faces.
these things and these things are kind of fucked.
You don't
and I get
say.
it if you want to say something different now.
Okay,
That's
but
why I said it
so
felt like a Mott and Bailey.
I will acknowledge that with time, I got a little bit better at describing.
It's
my
part of being
position,
on
because when
camera.
I initially made it, I felt like people would be good faith enough to fill in the gaps. Because the initial position that I took was the problem I have with
But not
kink
every
and
streamer
pride,
drinks
and
sody
then I
pop,
talked
right?
broadly about pride.
Oh my God.
And then I said I think kink
kind
has
of don't
its
like it.
places as long as there's some way to cordon it off in
Like,
a kid-friendly space.
I like
But then as
seltzer.
time went on, I realized that people were interpreting what I was saying as that kink and sex should
Sody
be like
pop
this
is a little bit too sweet.
shameful secondary thing, which was never my intention. So with
I
time,
mean,
I grew more
okay,
specific in the clarification.
Okay,
I feel like
Vaush.
even the initial thing that I
Okay.
said, with just a little bit of good faith interpretation, comes off as a
Hit him
pretty
up,
clear
Demon, take him
acceptance
out.
of kink and its place at Pride.
Fire
just
the
not
rhetoric
every
torpedoes.
single
You're not gonna
place
let
at
him get
Pride
away with this,
falls.
right?
But
Yeah,
if
but
your
I don't
argument
think
is
that
that
you're-
I
This
don't
is
think
what
your
people
initial
told
view-
me.
if your
Like, I don't
argument
think
is
your
just I
videos
wasn't
done
clear enough
This
to
is
begin with,
surprising.
then
Yes,
okay,
yes,
but the thing
I've
is,
been saying that, but you
Okay.
responded with incredible hostility even to me when I
Chat,
said
whoever
it.
told
When
me
I said-
this,
contextual. So I can make a statement that I feel is abundantly clear.
I didn't want to believe it, but whoever told me this, you were right. Yeah, he hates Vaush more than he hates Demon Mama. I am super surprised.
And other people can then say, I feel
I
like
didn't
you
think it was possible for Destiny to hate. Oh my god, wait a minute, chat. If it's possible for Destiny to hate people more than he hates Demon Mama, what does that mean for me? Chat, do you think Destiny's gonna be mad at me? About the thing I'm not allowed to talk about? I should buy some seltzer soon. Haven't had some in years. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, especially, like, okay, you can get seltzer that's, like, you know, sweetened and flavored, but I like to get the one that's, like, just completely just, like, you know, no sweetener. And it's like, okay, so here's the deal, though. Perrier, I have a problem with Perrier. I don't know what it is, but there's something in there that has an aftertaste. That is my whole deal with seltzer, is that I don't want an aftertaste. I want to drink a beverage, and I do not want to taste the beverage after I drink the beverage, right? And Perrier does not let me customize my experience in that way. So, not so much about the Perrier.
weren't being clear at all.
It's hard to find a good seltzer, you know?
So I
Right.
think
A good
from the
seltzer is
get-go,
really-
I was pretty clear, and that the language you're using, that it was incredibly irresponsible.
Wait, chat, is RAR a meme or something? They're like saying RAR, RAR, RAR in chat.
This, that it was
Yeah,
destructive, that
no,
you
no.
burnt the bridge.
And
I
dusted
think
in
stuff like
DGG.
that
I never said anything about
overstates-
burning a bridge.
or
I
burnt
said anything
the
about burning a
well or
bridge.
something.
Sorry, did
Light
you
it
burn a
up.
bridge in yours? Like, is that-
Demon Mama. When you used language like that to describe the way I described my argument to begin with, it felt as though you were saying that my unclearness, to the extent it existed, was incredible and irresponsible. I think it was fine to begin with. and
Now
it's just gotten
Demon Mama's
more
worried she's
clear
gonna get the
with
Destiny.
Somebody illegally recorded me and my mod team and put the stuff out there, and yeah, it might, you know, be there. Wait, okay, Demon Mama's not in DGG. For a second, somebody said, so sometimes when you see somebody's name come across the screen, like somebody types, their name's getting typed, like it'll mean they're in the chat talking. I don't think that Demon Mama's it. I would assume that, yeah, she's like server banned, isn't she? But yeah, that's the reason I can't talk about it, right? Because it like might involve like legal action. So yeah, I can't really talk about it. But yeah, it was just like
treatment. Oh,
Steven might not be super happy with me.
oh no.
I think I do agree that I think that you have gotten more clear, but I do not agree with the idea that you did not like misstep with your rhetoric. I don't think that there's. I don't
just
think
had
that
I know,
some
your
I
initial
polar?
video-
always misstep with rhetoric. Even
It's
my
not
best
Like
just
polar
debates with
bear?
others.
You had some
I'm not
polar?
saying it's like this is not like some minor critique. Again,
That's a major
blasting
critique.
Polar
things
seltzer.
about
Okay,
shit
that
is
makes
what
more
you're
sense.
Talking about. When you're,
Pedophilia.
like,
There are people for
unclear.
whom those accusations I maintain, by the way.
I'm sure there are.
Do you
I mean,
think,
Vaush,
wait,
like,
I'm sorry. Do you
you
think
have
those-
all-
Wait, where's the
do
boss
you think
at?
it's a? I'm just so this is a bit of a rhetoric move for me. Do you think it's a good look for you to deny all of the experiences that I've had and all the people that I've seen over the past 48 hours making arguments?
Did
that
I just
would
get a-
argue
Did I ever deny it?
I just
Do you
got-
think it's a
Wait.
good look for you to imply that I denied it?
Chat, I'm deferring to you now. Did
Okay,
Demon
so
Mama
what
not
Vaush is
deny
saying,
the existence of those people
if I'm
when
not
I said
mistaken,
people are accusing me of
is that he kind of got rocked by what happened on Twitter. Like, and I mean, I get that. Like, chat, look, I've had really fucked up shit happen to me on Twitter. And, like, mostly, if somebody's abusive, I'll block them, right? That's not a difficult choice, right? If somebody's being, you know, just unproductive and bad faith to me, there's no reason not to block them, right? Even with that, it doesn't stop somebody from making a comment that, like, during a time of pain for somebody that tries to reignite a drama. And yeah, I've seen that happen. And the sad thing is that it's like the kind of thing that, like, not a lot of people would think to post, because most people are like decent human beings, right? They're like, oh yeah, let's not, like, you know, let's not, like, use somebody's pain and suffering and as a reason to, you know, as a clout tweet, right? You know, as a way to get likes, right? Farm likes from that, right? Most people would think that, but there'll be one person who does, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna make the spicy tweet anyway, and then 200 fucking people jump on there because that shit's in their dark little hearts too. Yeah. It's then you see that's the thing about Twitter, is it, like, kind of exposes the dark little corners of your heart. Like, you would never type something like that, would you? But would you like something like that? Would you retweet something like that? Would you comment positively on something like that? Maybe you would, right? So yeah, it just spreads, like, toxicity in a gross way. So I can sort of relate. This is what I'm talking about, being able to relate to Vaush a little bit. And, like, I guess what he's saying is that, like, Demon Mama is coming at him just with a, hey Vaush, bad take. And I think he wants more of a, hey, you've been through a lot. I'm sorry, that was really unfair. Some people were really bad faith to you. There's just this one little, I don't know. Is that how he wants his compliment lasagna to go, maybe? And Demon Mama's not quite serving it up to him right? Just a guess.
Fighting shadows, and Demon Mama said, "You're lying to my fucking face right now."
Oh,
you have a
I
bad
said,
memory. What else?
I literally watched. No, hold on a second. I'm sorry. We could watch.
Oh my God.
I know those
chat
people
is
exist,
popping.
but you cannot.
I can't even see
on
what's
a
in
large
chat.
Issue broadly.
I think
based on a
DSK is in
handful
there.
Of those people,
I
unless you're
don't
clear
remember
about
you
that.
saying that at all.
I literally
Am I
just
being
said that.
gaslit?
Oh my God, this is so ridiculous.
Oh my
And of
God.
course your chat's gonna spam yes.
You did
obviously.
They're
say
both
that?
just
Okay.
only talking
Wait,
to the audience.
so
Of
she
course
did
your
say
chat's
that.
gonna
Did she
side with you.
also
They should be
say-
siding with
did
me.
she also
Thank
say
you.
the shadow or the
Thank you.
shadow
Hold
fox?
on. Look
Look
at
at
all
the
those
chat.
motherfuckers who just spammed yes when then you rewind back and you see that I wasn't fucking lying.
Look at the
You
chat,
are
Vaush.
insane.
Well,
Holy
okay,
shit.
wait, hold on. This is the first time the chat's answered your.
Do you think Vaush is an honest answer? Because you can see his mask slipping, like, with Demon Mama. I mean, in what way? Do you think he's, like, you know, not serious about his stated political ideology? Do you think he's, you know, more traditional minded than he lets on to? Like, in what way? Like, I'd like to think that it's just, I don't know, an overreaction. I'd like to think that the people that surround Vaush, even if they don't, like, press on him hard, that they do kind of act as a guiding force, and they do sort of, like, you know, help him. Because it's like, here's the deal, like, why am I fucking defending this guy? He sure as fuck didn't defend me. No interest in that. I mean, like, I'm a small bean, though. I'm a small bean. Maybe it don't matter, right? But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm not really defending him, okay? Like, I'm very much not in agreement with his take. I guess the only thing is that, like, I'm surprised to see him genuinely distressed. Maybe I haven't seen that before. And, like, I have this instinct to, like, I don't know. I have an instinct to, like, want to reach out to somebody like that. Even if, you know, I can see and I know what kind of harm and that's the be all end all, chat, is it's not about the people at the end of the day. It's about the rhetoric. And this rhetoric he's pushing is harmful. I don't know.
Favor, hold on now.
Oh no.
I just want us to remember that even though this is about the take, this is about the rhetoric, this is about which way society moves, that, like, there are people behind these personalities, including myself, but, you know, also Vaush, Destiny, Demon Mama. Even though weird, larger than life looking, you know, kind of weird champs, like, you know, haters of NCC, like, there's a human being behind each one of these people, right?
Vaush specified.
Behind each one of these people. What am I saying, chat? That was like, okay, sorry. Bimbo moment,
Tiny
yes.
Twitter lefties. Yeah, but chat, I do remember me saying something like
They're both like
I feel
optics
like
warring
people
each
are
other for the
using
chat.
shadow boxing when I described these like predatory tendencies.
Oh my
And
god, this
Demon
is so
Mama said
fucking
something like
pathetic.
you
It's like
kinda
Optics
are.
the
Didn't
movie.
that happen? I guess I'll have to
think I
rewatch
said,
this, but I
maybe I said you
remember.
kind of are, but I don't feel like that's the same thing as saying I don't think that that's reasonably conflatable with me denying that these people
gaslit?
exist. That would be insane of me to do that. I would never do that.
The feeling that I got when I say
Yeah,
I
but that's
worry
okay. But
people
that's on
think,
you. Now you're reading into my words.
well, you're always reading into people's words. So the thing, so you said I was fighting a straw man, and then I said I get frustrated when people accuse me of attacking.
No.
They say that the things I'm attacking don't even exist, and then you say you kind of are, which does imply that the thing
No,
that
he,
I'm
like, appeared up
describing
here.
doesn't exist, right? Like,
What?
isn't that
No,
the
I don't agree
natural
with you.
implication?
No, I
Oh.
didn't say that at all.
Okay.
No, I've been very
then
clear
then
about
let's
this.
just move on. Okay, so you agree those people existed.
Yes, obviously. I've literally said that like 3 times in this conversation. Of course I agree. There's
I
there's
kind of
people-
just want this
again,
discourse
but
to be
that
over.
That doesn't change anything about what I'm actually arguing because like okay.
So they do exist,
if,
but I
hold
shouldn't
on a second.
call
hold
them
on a second.
pedos?
No, hold on a second. Wait, let me give you an example. If
This discourse
if we do-
has
let's,
been.
let's take like a Ben Shapiro type. Let's say Ben Shapiro picks on some like
And this is why I
pedophile
can't
trans
exactly
person,
forgive
okay?
Vaush.
And says, hey,
This
this person exists.
discourse
And
has
then
been
and then Ben
immensely
Shapiro goes and makes a video
destructive
talking about trans people
to
and
the left,
pedophilia.
to the
and you might recognize
queer
that, oh, yeah,
community.
maybe the person he was talking about existed, and maybe when you confront them on it, he
What
would
is
go,
even
"I'm
hitting
not
me?"
comparing
This
you.
is the
Just-
This was
I'm
an
dead.
unforced
I don't
error,
even know.
chat.
I don't even know what's
it
hitting
is
me.
not. Just,
An
I just
unforced
said, let me use
error,
an extreme example
right?
to clarify what I'm saying. I just said that. Come on. Do you like? I feel like I don't know. Maybe like
My all of my content is queer friendly, and it wasn't just one person.
Okay.
It was an entire onslaught of arguments that came from me, from my own chat and from the broader community. And in discussion of this, it was pretty clearly not condemning pride or gay people.
Oh, you
I
want
was
me to stream
condemning
on
some
YouTube
of
more?
these arguments that people were using.
I might do
to
that.
defend
Like, yeah,
kink and
especially
pride,
numbers
'cause some
have
of those
been.
Yeah.
arguments were
So,
really
chat,
bad
just
and
so you
we
know,
assessed
okay.
them.
and in your attempt to
Let me let you in on some of the meta here, okay? So, on Twitch, my audience, because I stream so late at night, or I got into the habit of streaming late at night, it's very highly, like, EU, right? And so because of that, if I stream on Twitch, like, right now, I will get horrible numbers. So if I'm gonna stream right now, YouTube makes a lot more sense, right? But overall, yeah, overall, I'm open to whichever side embraces me more, I guess, right? So yeah, bigger numbers on YouTube is going to be more streams on YouTube. That's how the meta works, basically.
in your mind perhaps hit a certain group of people. You were hitting a lot of people, and I think that that's very bad.
Apart
with
from
regard
the few
to
times that I
saying
said, "Oh my God, you're all pedophiles," early on in the
it's not
first
it's
stream,
not
that
just oh my God, you're all pedophiles.
wait, hold on.
There was
The hyperbolic accusations that you're referring to are ones that were not made into a video. The worst ones, where I just said, "Oh my God, you're all pedophiles," those came from a segment that I never released.
Oh my God, the Destiny
video that I
subreddit?
released
Yeah,
were
they
tweets
hate
that I
me.
made only
No,
included
I
me
shouldn't say
accusing
that.
people of
Some
pedophilic tendencies for
they're
making arguments
mixed.
that
I should say that the
specifically
right
described.
way.
So with that
I'm
being
pretty
said,
sure-
where was the collateral?
There are
damage?
haters. There's some fucking
wait, like the collateral
huge hate
damage.
boners
the
over
collateral
there.
damage is fucking all over the place. Have you seen Twitter? Literally, I didn't even.
I mean,
like,
which
again,
groups of
I
people
brought up
were
my
I
own example.
impugning
Have
that
you
didn't
seen Twitter?
What's that?
Which
It feels
group
like a
of-
line with like a Bad Girls or Mean Girls or whatever. Have you seen what's going on
kink and
Twitter?
Pride takes that are different than yours, but aren't fucking advocating for pedophilia, who are now having accusations of pedophilia slung at them.
So-
and that's because
Holy
I'm
shit.
not saying that you're individually going after that, but of course not. That would be absurd. But what you did do is you started this fucking
You know what
this
this
fucking
reminds
discourse
me
this
of?
time around.
This
know what this
reminds
reminds me
me
of?
of people. This reminds me
Tone
of
policing me.
Whenever I make criticisms of like the LGBT community online, of which I as a
Uh-oh.
member have plenty,
Uh-oh.
people will
yes,
often
no.
say like, "Okay, your arguments were good, and the things you were criticizing exist, but conservatives
I
are
don't
going to
think-
use these arguments too in bad faith."
Okay, let
And
me be
while
really
that's
clear.
True,
One,
I feel like
let me be
Thank you,
clear.
Mr.
everything I can
Cabello.
do is just not
Yeah, that's really
speak on
sweet
the
of you.
negative elements of those communities, and I can't do that, and nobody should do that. Criticism can improve a community. So I think what we have to do here is recognize that, hey, I want to be really clear about this. Even if I had never opened my mouth, a lot of you were gonna get called pedos anyway. Big cultural
He's
discourse,
such a vulture.
a lot of lefties online putting their foot in their mouths pretty hard. I like Big Joel, but man, did his
I can't
tweet
believe
thread
that
come
he
off
hates
with
Vaush.
massive
Like, I'm
conservative
surprised that he hates
condemnation
Vaush more than
bait.
Demon
It feels
Mama.
like a lot of
It
people on
did.
the left
Is it
are
that like
yeah.
Vaush was in
"It's
line
okay
first,
to
right?
how
I
bad things
understand.
can
That's
get
it,
out
isn't
there."
it?
Like,
Vaush has
idea
been
of
on his
being
hate list for
responsible
longer.
entire-
It's like he's
This
got.
is like, this is neither here
Oh,
nor there.
so
You've
maybe
gone
he
off on,
doesn't
like,
hate me
another
as
tangent.
much.
This has nothing like, what does
Chat.
Joel? Like,
He
I don't have a
just
big
started
problem with
hating me.
what I'm
If he
saying.
like,
hates
what I
me
say
at
is
all,
pretty relevant.
which we don't know.
I don't think I'm solely responsible for the discourse, and I don't think the existence of
No,
negative
obviously you're not.
externalities-
You're not solely responsible for the entire Kink at Pride.
So
discourse,
he
but
probably
I
hates me
believe-
less bad
I
than Demon
think that there
Mama.
is enough view counts and interaction. For fuck's sake, your
Because it
name was
was
trending
so
with Kink
peaceful
at
up
Pride.
here.
Oh my God,
But
thank
now
you.
they're
Sorry, but
freaking
did you not
communist
see what happened on
invading
Twitter?
Coast.
I'm
and you kicked it
responsible
off,
for every lefty
you-
who got called a pedo.
I'm
and
not.
bad faith on
I
it.
never said
There's
that.
there's our
Why
friend
don't you
Minnesota
engage
Mike
with
up
these
there.
and actually,
Yeah?
like, actually try to hear what I'm saying.
Then
Like, it sounds
what-
like you're
Then what is the collateral damage? Who got
The
called a
collateral
pedo
damage
as
is-
a product of me that didn't deserve it, apart from the incredibly hyperbolic and super broad condemnations that came out from
I
the
don't
initial
think that
stream.
I don't think that all of your accusations were as clearly hyperbolic and hyper broad as you'd like to think. And this is my reaction as somebody who watched the videos and responded and go, wow, damn, that seems like a fucking broad blast. And I do think that especially, and I know that you know this, I know that you agree with me on this, because that on issues like
He
this,
hasn't
you have
reached
to be
my part of
careful
the
with rhetoric.
centipede
I
yet.
agree, but
Yes.
I don't-
Yes.
I've never
That's
said
that's what I love. Is he's got
otherwise.
like
I
there's
said-
people.
And yet at the same
moment this
time, you're
conversation
refusing.
There's
started-
people he's got to get to
continue
first
play-
before he can
you've
take
continued
on
throughout this
me.
conversation to downplay.
Yeah.
And I say, hey,
Wait,
when you
so
started
you
out,
say-
and there's
wait.
tons of. No, wait, listen, hold on. Let me
Hold on,
finish.
wait.
Ask me like multiple questions. I'm gonna finish my point now. Okay. So, when you ask me what's the collateral, and I point to Twitter and I go, your name and Kink at Pride is trending, and in every single conversation, everybody who touches it is getting called a pedo if you so much as disagree with your take. And by the way, there are a lot of people who specifically referenced your argument and said, I think Vaush is the right take on this, and if you disagree with it, these were people that I got in my comments. And I'm not saying a lot of them. There were a few, and I know you're not responsible for every single one. But I think that there are lines that you can acknowledge and say, damn, opening this up with broad and vague accusations of pedophilia against other queer people.
Already, so why? Get you can't. I'm gonna.
Oh, God, now I
if you
remember
bring
this part
up
of the
again,
debate.
I have to hang up because I.
Oh,
can't go,
no.
I can't do the 11th time.
You asked me what
You
the
act as
collateral
though-
is, and I'm describing.
Why is he
No,
doing
no,
this now?
Describe the collateral without saying once more. It was irresponsible of me to make hyperbolic
Correct.
accusations of pedophilia because I know that. Okay.
Then you
Now,
know the
so-
collateral. Then you
No!
should know the
No,
collateral.
that's not the same as knowing the collateral, okay? Because I engage in a lot of hyperbole on this stream, and I don't think that because I trended on Twitter and people on the left got
What
called
is he just
pedophiles,
jumping
that
down
means
that
there's
far?
a direct one-to-one connection between me doing that, like between X and Y, especially since
No,
the most
obviously.
please. Especially since the most publicized content that I engaged in was much more directed and responsible with the accusations that I made. So, with all of that being said, one of the other
I
issues that I
don't
have
agree
is
with
that
that, but
the overstatement of harm can be really destructive in these instances. I got an fuck ton of abuse online for this, and all the takes you can find on Twitter are pretty milquetoast. I think the well was poisoned.
Dude, this
ubiquitously
candle's
as
firing
much as
everything.
Major
I'm-
actors participated in it, and it's frustrating to me that I know
Chat,
I'm
who do you
the
think's
only
more
one who's going to
frustrated,
get
Vaush or
harmed.
Destiny
That
here?
they're
not the only
It's a
one.
kind of a.
Wait, hold on. All the rando Twitter queer accounts that got 20,000 likes giving their dumb fuck takes on this are going to fade into anonymity afterwards. This is going to
Okay.
stick to me for years. So yes, I am the
Yeah,
only
but-
one.
okay.
Wait. I'm the only one who's going to
that's a
get
good tweet,
burned
thank
for
you.
this. Okay. Now, hey, you know what? I also make six figures. I accept the consequences of being a public figure. But it's frustrating to me that you would come on here and just try to grind my nose and the irresponsibility, the
didn't try
bad
to
faith, the
Vaush,
poisoning.
come on,
You've
that-
mentioned it like a dozen times.
No,
with
I was trying to
ignoring the
elucidate. Wait, hold
broader
on, hold on.
I was trying to
context.
elucidate.
Real quick, before you try to accuse me of trying to come on here.
Yeah.
and
the
Grinding
elucidate
my
word.
nose in it. You
Use
brought
it.
it up a
Just
dozen times. We've
No, I
keep
did not.
acknowledging it over and
Oh,
over and over.
Come
Vaush.
on, Vaush.
I don't know. I'm like scared to go on Destiny or Vaush's subreddit anymore. Like I've seen like how quickly look, like they can be okay, all right, and there's definitely some good people over there, right? But if they get the least bit of a sniff that there's any scandal behind like a female creator, it feels like they just pounce. and they just like, you know, it's like they want to believe it, like especially if she's like kind of a SJW. You know, like, yeah, it's this weird thing where like they just like have this natural, oh yeah, you want to say like, you know, claim that she's a tanky, sure, I'll believe she's a tanky. You want to claim that she's like, you know, giving death threats, sure, I'll believe that she's giving death threats. I mean, she is trans, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking brainworm shit over there. It is seriously brainworm city. And obviously not everybody over there has brainworms, but there's enough of them that I feel like I don't want to post over there, right? I don't want to be any part of that toxicity, that fucking soup of shit that is our destiny. I'm sorry, chat. I'm calling out the subreddit again. I really don't mean to. I don't hate the subreddit. I know that there's good people over there. It's just, it's hard not. I'm getting like, you know how I'm just.
Are you this defensive? Like, look.
Bring it
I
up
came on
again,
here
and we'll see.
Uh-oh.
All right, listen. I'm sorry for subjecting chat to engaging in apparently my humiliation dom kink. I didn't mean to do that, but
on
that was
our
not my intention
destiny.
at all. That's never been my intention. Please don't read intention into me. I feel like you're being very defensive about that. Yes, we're both very spicy. We both are very contentious. We both have. I mean, you opened this again. You've already admitted, and I have. We know. We just talked about this.
Listen,
that's kind of that.
Make sure to bring it up again in 5 minutes for any new
No,
viewers
I'm
who
not.
attend it.
here's my advice. As bad as this sounds, as much as like those allegations are really serious and really toxic and really fucked up that somebody would throw them around like that, you gotta make fun of that shit, okay? Because here's the deal. If you're gonna say that a deleted VOD means that I made death threats, you might as well say that a deleted VOD means that I like went back in time and assassinated Kennedy before the CIA could do it. You might as well say that I cooked and ate a baby on stream, you know, in a segment that I called a modest proposal. You could make up anything you fucking wanted. You could take every single unsolved crime since whenever and pin it on nocommentchick right then, if that's the rules that we're gonna live by. These fuckers are absurd. And what they need to be is called out for their absurdity. So make fun of them because they are fucking laughable. And that is I hate to say it, but that is the level of you know, that's what these, you know, charges need to be treated with. You know, it's fucking ridiculous, and they're absurd assholes, and they're looking for anything to latch on to make fun of them because they are ass clowns, they are lolcows, and they are wrecking themselves on NCC right now.
This is what we're talking about, Vaush.
We're starting to see a watershed moment here, chat. We're starting to see the tide turn completely. We're starting to see the hunters become the hunted, and they don't like it very much. They are not fans of this dynamic. They thought that they were a little bit more powerful. They were a little further ahead in their plans than they actually were, and they found out.
What the fuck do you want from me? You want me just to say,
So,
okay?
as I understood it, the way arguments work is that once you make an argument and it gets acknowledged and accepted, you generally move on to the next argument rather than continuing to cycle back to it. But that
Yes,
might just be
then that's fine. But also, this entire tangent came off from you asking me what the collateral was, and then I tried to respond, and you took contest with my definition of collateral.
Okay,
now,
so I've responded to that, and I've said that the well was already mega poisoned all around.
Want to make the
and I
Tarragon
don't
armor?
think
Because I have to kill the other Providence boss over and over
At the
again
very
for enough
least, I
pieces
think
for
you're
that.
overstating the extent to which the unpublished hyperbolic accusations that I made contributed to how poisoned the discourse was. I feel like
So
there were a ton of factors that contributed to it, and you're like really hyper fixating on that one bit.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I'm
so
talking to
wait,
you.
if that's
Wait,
the
hold on.
case,
You know-
there's nothing left to
Let me wait. No, because you just said your thing, and I want to respond to that. Like,
you know how DGG and VGG roll, okay? If you want to participate in that discourse, you got to be a little bit toxic. You got to be a little bit, you got to kind of like rock that like irony bro, like I don't give a fuck kind of vibe. And like, you know, that's what they're going to give to you, and that's unfortunately kind of what you got to give back to them. But I can understand people not wanting to interact with that. I can understand, you know, kind of how toxic that that environment is to be in. Hopefully, chat, really soon, we will be providing an alternative to the GGs. So look forward to that.
what did it say? So, no, I don't think I've overstated any harm. You asked me for the collateral. I described the collateral, I believe, very accurately. And while I don't think that you're the only
Good night, Anthony.
person who contributed to this, I've never claimed that. I am talking to you. I'm talking to you right now, which means, yeah.
But when you're
okay?
only talking to one participant, the extent to which... So I don't remember the exact words you used, but you came into this discussion with some extremely fiery condemnations of my behavior.
Yeah,
So-
no, I had condemnations for what we already settled. and you
Okay,
admitted that
seriously
you don't
though,
agree with
this
it.
game looks really annoying. Is there an enemy in his house? Like, what the fuck is that? This is his house, right? Is there, like, what? I don't understand.
I personally think that it's
Maybe
more
not.
serious than you're giving it credit for.
Is
But
he,
I
like-
recognize now
okay.
that we've reached a point where you acknowledge that.
And I think
However,
the
no
pedo
idea
defense
what
shit
he's
from the online
doing.
left was way more serious than you give it credit for.
Okay, well, what pedo defense?
Ooh.
I-
Let's go
Okay,
through
no,
them.
I don't think it's an
If
enemy.
you think that there's one, then why don't we talk about those? Because that could be super interesting. If we want to talk about whether we think there's whether so-called pedo defenses are actually pedo defenses or not, I think that would be an interesting
Wait,
discussion. Because
what?
I think
I
haven't
don't
seen,
remember this part.
many, if any, pedo defenses. And so when you've talked about this
Oh.
entire thing, it seemed like
So he
a
was
lot of hyperbole.
he's
And
claiming that
that's
some
where
of the
my thoughts come
rhetoric given by the other side could be used as a defense for
You want to
pedos.
argue with me over my memory of takes that I saw in my chat
Uh-oh.
on Twitter and the extent to which I believe
No.
they
Not
were the
anymore.
defense
Wait,
in the
okay,
ballpark of
Ash.
defending, like sexual abuse of children.
Do you think I'm gonna remember
entirety of this-
everything?
Oh, Pisco's in chat. So yeah, he actually does play. What hasn't he been playing LOL a lot lately? And he was blaming that as the reason that he like isn't doing as well as Vaush is in numbers.
discussion.
What if you just took my word for like?
Take my word for it, just believe me.
The thorniest
wait.
path to take.
Okay.
Could you imagine if
so
I said that to Vaush in an
acknowledge
argument?
that
Can you just
overfired
trust
with
me on this
your-
one?
Yeah, but seriously, all his latest videos, yeah, it's been Terraria.
With your response, you acknowledge that the rhetoric, yes, right, correct? Did
I
you
don't-
not just acknowledge that, or are you backing off on that now?
Huh, you gonna
We
backtrack?
just agreed on
You
this.
gonna backtrack now,
Yeah,
Vaush?
we just agreed on it an hour ago. Yeah, it's still true. It's still true.
Sick. So you overfired. Okay. So there we go. Now, when you overfire with pedophilia
Hold on, no.
specifically, yeah, that's going to be
I'm trying this
that's
one
going to
more
be a problem. And then if I say, okay, so then what? And then you respond to me when I say, damn, you're calling people pedophiles who are
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, thanks, Ash. Yeah, it's a base for NPCs, actually. I know what you're talking about now. I think I remember seeing these before. It's been
what are you
it's,
talking about? And
it's
you-
seriously been a while though. Like I didn't play Terraria, but I watched a lot of Let's Plays of Terraria way back in the day.
say random chatters. And I'm like, okay, but this has been part of a bigger conversation that has led to you making a lot of tweets and you implying that there
Yeah,
are
that is kind of a weird that is kind of a weird claim now that you mention it.
a lot of people who do this. So if that's the case,
Maybe
what are
it's
the-
a meme. I don't know. Sometimes it's easy to like come into like a Destiny chat and like hear something that sounds like it's legit and it's like, oh no, that's a meme. That's a joke. No, they
arguments that you've seen around on the online left that you've seen being made by people that are so problematic that you feel
there's like a lot of in jokes in DGG. I mean, I'm sure people know.
the need to denounce queer communities and whatever online.
No,
Because
hold
I'd
on.
love to
Wait,
know.
whoa. Denounce
See,
queer community.
we might have a few in jokes of our own, and I was just gonna explain them to you, but what was I thinking?
I'm sorry.
No,
Did at
come
any
on,
point
dude,
I see
why is it
people on
moving so
Twitter and
fast?
I'm sorry, bad
the
joke.
entire gay
See,
community?
because if you don't know the reference, then it's just like
he
what?
is a pedophile. Did I do this? Why would you
I mean,
say
I
that?
think in this. Okay, look. I can admit.
Oh, he's not playing like Toho or something. He's playing pretty mainstream games, so it's not that.
Perhaps that was a miswording.
That's
of a
true.
word. I was
Fine,
not
that's
trying-
fine then,
anyway,
that's
I
fine.
wasn't
We all
trying to be-
speak. Yeah,
I wasn't
that's
trying to be
fine.
like
That's
President.
true.
Okay,
Like
so
I was just trying to say like in this conversation, I believe you've said it's like something along the lines of it's a serious issue among gay issues.
I mean,
online.
this
Like,
looks
gay communities online.
fun.
This is a serious issue. This stuff is propagating in these communities. Am I wrong about that?
I'm
Did you
sure
not
it's
say that in your
frustrating.
video?
it
Any-
propagates in every community, but there are
But-
certain
okay.
ways in which I think you can misuse woke language to get away with enabling abusive behavior. So remember Jessica Yaniv, Blair White, fixation extraordinaire.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. How could I
so-
ever forget that?
Not Blair White. Jessica Yaniv was very, I don't know if the word's effective, but very insistent on using progressive arguments to enable sexual abuse and generally abusive behavior of the people around her, up to and
Yeah.
including body positivity being used as an excuse for her to be the sole chaperone for an underage topless party. You're transphobic
Yeah.
if you don't wax my genitals, etc., etc. So now, am I to say that pedophilia and sexual abuse are only problems in the LGBTQ community? Of course not. But there are ways in which LGBTQ community members can use specific language to get away with their bullshit. It's cultural too. Americans will use
Yeah.
different excuses than like Saudi Arabians. Like it's just with the communities that you're in dictate the ways in which you can abuse people.
No!
around you. So some of the takes that I saw made me really, really uncomfortable, like viscerally uncomfortable. Now, this all
Viscerally.
sparked around that picture of the little girl next to that Folsom leather pride thing, where there were the guys in the dog gimp thing and the leash and whatever.
The one that was from Operation Pridefall. Yes.
The one that was taken from a picture from Folsom Leather Fair, and I never claimed otherwise. Yes, thank you. Okay. It was
The one that was literally a 4chan op. Yeah, that
Anyway,
one.
I'm pretty sure it was false.
Yeah, but
Fuck
whatever the
this
case
boss.
is. So I don't like stuff like that because I think that those are public displays of sexual kink. And I think that children shouldn't be around that. Maybe that makes me a crazy neocon, okay? Whatever, I stand by that position. I just think there's a lot of potential for harm and
nobody,
abuse there.
but see, nobody's like, I'm not saying you're a crazy neocon. Nobody's saying you're a crazy neocon. But
Among
if that gets
Us.
conflated into a conversation about kink at Pride.
That's what Destiny should play, is Among
This is
Us.
the vague thing that I
Keep in mind, initially I only showed that picture and I said, yeah, I think we can agree this isn't good. But then people in my chat started people in my chat started defending the little girl being next to the sex dog leather thing.
Sex dog. It's not a sex dog, it's a pup. Okay, god damn it, dude. It's not. Why am I saying it's? Why am I repeating your fucked up language, Vaush?
Inherently sexual anyway. And these types of behaviors, not only are they representative of ways by which you can justify abuse of others, I have heard them from attempted abusers of me. So
made it personal. Whoa, the ultimate trump card.
The initial stream is that when I condemned these people, a lot of the people didn't see me condemning people engaging in really.
Yo, I wish I could play Toho. Toho has some fucking awesome music.
So more people in my chat who aren't
I just like it looks scary. The bullet hell shit.
Really suspect to me.
That looks super hectic.
These people, and I grew increasingly frustrated as more and more people accused me of being homophobic with my bans, like I'm banning gay people or I'm banning pride-friendly people. And could I have handled this better? Certainly. But you know what? I defer to a classic woke defense, which was that I was a little bit fucking triggered by seeing some shit that made me really uncomfortable in my community.
Yeah.
So I went through it and I banned a lot of people. And maybe a lot of those people didn't deserve to be banned because they didn't know what they were criticizing me for doing, and that's fine. And hey, if you got banned unfairly, you can email me and I will unban you. I can check your logs.
Did he say D-mail?
Oh, what a great policy.
Like we could send a D-mail?
Thousands of people with those takes because they're so desperate
like
to
through
not
time?
look like a conservative prude. That
to warn
they will
him not
defend
to
anything to own the cons.
True.
Like retweet this Lauren Southern shit.
I mean, like, okay,
That's
but
what
I feel like
that describes
any Steins
my
Gates
experience.
fans?
That's what I felt.
Do you think that that's like representative of like?
It's such a
Do
niche.
you think that that's like?
Yes, I do think that is representative of a lot of people.
Because a lot of the claims you've made, even in this stream, has been that the left has a big
So,
problem with this. And okay,
he's
like, if that's the
agreeing
case,
with
then
Vaush.
Let's see it. Let's talk about the actual problem.
But
If
he's
it's
loving
random,
to
I
see
understand, because
Vaush
people on
get
Twitter
beat
can say
up.
horrible shit on
Interesting.
Twitter all the time. But first of all, this issue with we're talking about the Folsom thing has obviously been conflated with the issue of Pride at Kink, which is a completely different, or Kink at Pride, which is totally, in my opinion, a totally different issue. And it has led to a fever pitch where you can't even talk about it. I can't even say something like, hey, Kinksters have had a huge historical impact in Pride, and I don't think that they should be, just because that some of them are deemed too edgy or whatever for public, the light of public day. Guess what? My parents, I talked about this on my stream, my fucking parents, two of my parents literally believe that being trans is a kink and use that as a reason to threaten my life.
So now let's throw them all together to reinforce that?
And that is weaponized.
No, obviously that's fucked up, what you just described.
Good.
Your
All right, I'll be back on
experience.
time.
From my perspective, I couldn't even call out overtly abusive behavior without getting condemned so hard by the LGBTQ community that I went trending nationally. You can look,
why? Do you think it could have been?
The reason why is the same reason good people got banned from my chat, because they saw two groups. They saw creepy fucking lefties defending creepy fucking shit with kids, and they saw me. And the left hates me more than they hate the former group. So they came out in droves to attack me and implicitly defend the behavior of the earlier group. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So you think the well was poisoned for you? It was poisoned for all of us. And my frustration was that, and my current criticism right now, by the way, is that the community on the left is so insular and so defensive that they would rather attack people making valid criticisms than they would root out the problems within their community. A la tankies, a la woke scolds, all of these pernicious.
We gotta get the woke scolds out, chat. That's the real problem.
Minor criticism.
Okay.
Those damn woke scolds.
Okay.
Perhaps people, largely queer people, who have been in many times. And this is a systemic issue. I know you don't disagree with me. I hope you don't disagree with me on this.
Please
it is a systemic issue.
I love the idea of comparing woke scolds to tankies.
Gay people, and now especially trans people. People see you being very and
Chat, I've definitely had my own experiences with some woke scolds. Okay, I've definitely been woke scolded. All right, I've had people like
heat when the rhetoric
be really bad
in that
faith
initial thing
to be
really
in terms of shit like that.
But and was probably
I try not to like
given the topic, especially with the conflation of the issues at hand.
All I'm gonna say is that when I see some legit creepy shit going on to the left,
I feel like as bad as like woke scolds can be, like what's worse is some people's reactions to them and the way that like some creators' disposition changes and they just shut off like any kind of criticism. I guess I get in the moment if you're getting like fucking dogpiled on Twitter by a bunch of disingenuous assholes that you don't exactly want to hear like from somebody that actually has like a measured, nuanced critique, right? You know, you're just like, please, like, no, I don't want any more. No more, please, right? But like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't want it to. I think it did kind of change my disposition for a little while, right? And that puts you in a bad place, right? Where you're starting to relate to people like Lacey Green. It's not a good place to be, chat. And it was literally just because people like disingenuously compared me to her. So then to be like what is it called, like to be a contrarian, I kind of like was like, well, maybe Lacey Green's not so bad, and then I like look at Lacey Green's actual shit, and I'm like, oh, Ariella Scarcella interview, okay, yeah, no, she is that bad. She legit is that bad, like, right? I was like, oh, maybe she got canceled unfairly too, and it's like, no, she's fucking yikes as fuck.
And I pointed out, and the rest of the online left, instead of thinking, oh,
but I mean, it is possible to go, and a lot of people do kind of go the other way from that kind of criticism.
Do you think shit? They instead go, you can't call.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. You're doing it right now, though. You're doing it right now. You're saying you're saying the rest of the online left. Wait, do you really think that nobody agrees with you? There's so many fucking people who have agreed with your position with like unflagging zealousness. Like you have a lot of people who agree with your position, not just in your community.
Within the left. This is not true. We were in the minority.
I saw nearly. Wait, I can think of so many other content creators that sided with you. Like we have fucking like
me.
Okay, guys, I can't even understand. So I think we can show this on stream. I don't know if I can.
I think we can show this on. Wait, what?
This is PG-13 by the way, and it's a picture of Catwoman, and she's wearing like something like a I don't know what kind of outfit you would call this, like some cat fucking superhero. But
Some
it's like
cat thing.
Very, like,
yeah, it's
sexy.
one of those cat
it's
things.
It's like got the boobs. You can see like the cleavage and shit. But I don't know if I would call this like a kink sex outfit. Like, are we going back to the argument now that every single outfit that shows like midriff and cleavage is all kink attire? Are we back to where we were 5 years ago when conservatives were saying that women that wear like outfits with cleavage are wearing sexual kink attire? Is
he agreeing with Demon Mama? Chat, what's happening? Is he legit agreeing with Demon Mama?
All of this predicates on your
I thought he agreed with Vaush, but he was just like
when people come to your video
enjoying
and again,
the shouting
I watch
Freude.
all your stuff. You know this. Like okay, not all of it anymore. I've been too busy with fucking streaming. But you know I've been a part of your community. You know I fucking appreciate your take. And you know that I appreciate you, okay? Look, I know we're spicy, but I hope you know that, okay? I will say
they were on Twitter. There were a lot of them, and nobody was calling them out. Because people on the left don't want to be accused of infighting.
Wait, he said no cat girls at Pride?
The only one
really?
brave enough to infight on the left.
Really? Steven!
Lefties will take any dumb fuck position if it means they get to stay part of the social club. And it's not cool to say, hey, there are problems with some of the rhetoric we use for sex positivity at Pride. That's not a cool take to make. It sounds like a conservative take.
Vaush, that's not the take you made, though. We know this. You already acknowledged this. That's not the take you made. The take you made was, here's my problems with kink. Here I'm going to make a of jokes about how these people just want to waggle their dicks in the face of kids. That's a quote of you.
Some of those people, yeah, no, I think some of those people unironically Pride.
But you surely can understand where when you conflate those two things, that is going to by the rhetoric. This is not an issue of other people reading into you. Your own words were limited in such a way that many people are not going to be able to conclude that.
I recognize that, but I feel like the statements I made warranted enough specificity to give people a clear outline of the problem, and that people jumped on any excuse they could find to not take it seriously because, I mean, realistically, because Vaush bad. Some of the takes that I saw online were insane.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I apologize.
It's fine. No, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that I couldn't have been more specific because I've said that multiple times. But the way this all went down, in my opinion, is reflective of some pretty major problems in the online left. Like, this is ridiculous. So, I mean, I can run down all the big ones that I remember. There was the massive tweet saying that kids don't even belong at Pride, which I think, by the way, is a homophobic statement. If you're, like, the people who need Pride more than anyone else are, like, queer, questioning, and trans kids.
Where do these guys
Is that American voice?
Sorry, you cut out again. Hold on, you cut out again.
There was a huge tweet saying that kids shouldn't even be at Pride, which I think
American My Voice?
is a horrible take. And maligns a lot of underrepresented people. Sean's take, where he said,
"Yeah, I probably say Steven in the same way that Merrick
was
does."
Absolutely moronic because nobody was talking about that. But I saw the replies to that tweet, hundreds and thousands of likes, which means tens of thousands of people participating, which means hundreds of thousands of people supporting the idea that my criticisms were saying I had a problem with any kink at Pride, or that I had a problem with dudes going shirtless at Pride. Guys, for those of you who are on Twitter, how many counter arguments were making responses to positions that I've never made? They were making counter arguments suggesting that I believed in things that I didn't believe. This was
Okay,
all
okay.
over the place.
Wait. Hold on a
Wait,
second.
wait.
We're getting.
The
wait,
online
so
left.
there's two ways we do
Oh.
this. Like one, I can
I
explain.
just heard
we
him
can
say
continue
cat
to
and
talk about
woman
this, and I can
at the
explain
same
to you
time
where
and
I
made
think
a
in your videos, and I do think this.
bad
by the way,
time
I have a
joke.
notepad of this. It's not because I don't like you. It's because I really appreciate your stuff, and I have some critiques about the way that you approach this issue. However, I could bring up specific examples that I think led to people having responses like that, which I don't think that Sean getting a quippy burn on you and I don't agree with Sean's takes, but I don't think that Sean getting a quippy burn on you that like that responds to like one of your arguments in these videos is like equivalent to you like I don't even think it's equivalent. I don't even think that's just somebody got a dunk on you.
Where's the unholy stuff dropped from
It's
again?
neither here nor there.
I have to
Oh, I
be.
remember.
It has to be my argument for it to be a dunk on me. And second
Where's
of
the
all, all
unholy
burns that
stuff
I'm looking
dropped
at,
from
all the
again?
discourse
I think the
took place
human
on Twitter. So
centipede,
in order to determine the
Steven,
significance
is where
of
the
position, I
unholy
kinda
stuff
have to
drops
look
from.
at Twitter engagement to do this. By which I got massively
Where the
outpaced by
discourse
a
comes from in
wide
the
range of
beginning,
people
you
with very
know,
stupid arguments.
where it
Which
shall
Unholy is
return
not
in
like
the
that.
By the way,
end.
if you can read frustration into my voice, like I do get frustrated by this stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know
like
you're
there are predators right now that nobody is paying attention to. Not only is
Dude,
nobody paying
Vaush
attention to them,
sounds
but
like
Vaush is pivoting now to the child predators. He's like,
yeah,
he's trying to
he
come
sounds
back,
like
bring back
QAnon.
the
He's like,
optics.
I gotta
It's
get
gotta
those
be about the
child
children. It's gotta be
predators.
about the children.
There's
The
all these
children, the
child
child victims.
predators out there. We gotta get them. Nobody cares about the predators. We gotta get those predators.
Demon
They're
knows
letting
that she
them
has to
go.
get off the
They're letting them go
the
because
child
they're
victim problem because it makes it
LGBT.
look
They
really
let
bad. So
all
now she's
the.
gonna try to
It's
pivot
like
out.
no, dude, no.
I'd be willing to bet this has happened many
What
times.
is this weird
everything
champ
is happening.
take? What is this weird champ
But
take?
these are sort of this is like gut check. Like this is I don't know. If we want to talk about specifics, sure. Do I don't know. Like this is the
I
thing.
don't
We
have
can go
numbers
too
on the number of people.
Yeah, I know, but do you see how like but do you
Dude,
see how
Vaush,
this
the thing is
like,
you don't
what
have
we're saying
shit.
here is very different.
You just
than-
have this
than
like
the
weird
previous. Okay, so,
idea.
like, I'm okay with us talking about these things, but like I just feel like this is we're getting to a point where in this conversation we're now talking about Sean and Big Joel. Do we want to talk about the actual takes? I'd be more than happy. In fact, I'd be super comfortable talking about specific takes and giving you my input on these takes and where I disagree with you and stuff. If you're interested in that sort of thing, now that we've gotten.
It's just like as long as you agree with my belief that like a big chunk of pride should be reserved for like a non-controversial kid family friendly thing, then that's like really it. I just know like I just know for a fact that there are a lot of kids.
But isn't it already?
Kids.
There is that,
want to be
right?
able to
Like
attend
these
these
spaces
events.
Vaush is
exist.
winning it now.
Right?
He's brought it back to the children. Demon Mama's fucked. She's got to get off this
Like
topic.
he said himself, 99% of pride he's okay with.
Because these events are ostracizing by way of their overt sexuality and kinkiness, and that's fine.
But I thought
for a lot of it, but there has to be a
99%
section
of them were
less
fine, right?
uncontroversial, and
Remember,
people are
Vaush,
usually
when you
trying
said
to
99%
sanitize
were
pride. I
fine?
haven't even complained about the biphobia yet, but there has been so much shit thrown at me for this take, and it feels
I'll
so
agree with
reasonable.
I would agree with you, and I would ask that we could perhaps disentangle these things because I don't think that was your original take. Maybe
Got to move off the kids.
whatever. Maybe you think it was. I don't think that was portrayed clearly. However, if all that you're saying is that there should be kid-friendly areas of pride, sure, of course, there's going to be no disagreement with me. The problem that I have is a greater push
Refocus.
to condemn, to stigmatize, to make people who aren't pedos out to be pedos. I don't like any of that. That is
Okay.
moral panic shit that leads to. Wait,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're doing this,
Don't
but
look at my
I'm just
screen,
trying.
okay? My facial expression should be.
Oh my god,
come
Destiny,
on.
show his
I
face,
roasted
show his
about
He
face.
brought up the facial expression.
Show his face.
Assume you were
Sure.
okay. You streaming
I'm
right
making
now?
lots of them. No, I'm not. Of course not. It's my off day.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm making all kinds of faces right now. Man, chat would be losing it if they could see my face right now. I'm like,
I acknowledge I could have communicated this better, and this is the reason why I tried to
Well, I
explain
wanna
to
go
you the
back-
emotional state that I was in when I made very angry condemnation. Because, like, man, as someone who already gets a lot of hate online, not to like be a baby or whatever, but like I already get a lot of hate online. I rely on the solidarity of my community a lot.
Yeah, vice versa, or vice versa. Wait, me too. I don't know why I was saying vice versa. The Silent Hill of discourse. Everybody's screaming about children, and there's a lot of skin and kinks, and I'm just sort of here. I feel that.
So for me to say like, oh yeah, we probably shouldn't be doing this, and it's like the kid next to the dog fuck thing, and then somebody in chat's like, what's wrong with that? What kid looked like she's having fun? I banned that person, and then 6 people in chat are saying, wait, hold on, what'd you ban that person for? Are you like being a prude or something? I banned those 6 people. Like it escalates really, really hard, and obviously it's my job as a public figure to responsibly manage my feelings in the face of behavior like that. But
Yes.
nobody does it perfectly. So in my emotional state, this is why the hyperbole, etc., etc. But beyond that, like when we get just
Ban
to the
them
argument,
all.
like I feel like it's pretty defensive, right?
Okay, so if the argument, and if this is the argument you're going to be going forward with, then 100%. I think that having safe, kid-friendly areas of pride, which already exist all over the place, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not
So
in
then,
disagreement
what's
with you.
the
Sometimes I
what?
think
That's
it's
not a take though. That's the state of the world as it is. That's not a proposition of, hey, we should change XYZ, you know, XYZ is wrong with pride, right? Like that's then there'd be no reason to bring it up. This is the thing, is it just doesn't make any sense.
More. I think some pride events played up.
Like he's trying to walk it back to a take where he basically wasn't asking for anything to change at all. He was basically agreeing with the status quo. That wasn't your take. That wasn't your take.
Oh, they're coming to agreement over to kids.
I don't think that's like a unique thing to pride. And also, again, and my other issue of it is that, and I recognize that, like, I'm not accusing you of this, but I think that we should be able to discuss this as well. Is that pride has been eternally maligned, using shit like that image of the dog, using all kinds of other things that are contextless.
And
that
think
are used
about
to
it,
give the
like look, if you're on the other side of this issue, you know, if you think that this is about, like, you know, a bunch of overreactive lefties, and you're just the voice of sanity out there saying, like, hey, listen, like, this is a bit much, don't you think? Right? Remember, that picture wasn't taken at Pride. How did this enter into the Pride discourse? This was, like, part of a strategy by, like, Lauren Southern. This is playing right into the hands of something that, like, 4chan's trying to do during Pride Month, to turn, it seems like, the LGBT community, you know, force them to disavow certain elements within themselves, and then kind of work from there to, like, I mean, this is really scary shit.
that every
Then don't
pride is
defend
just
it.
A giant bukkake orgy on the street,
And,
and that's
you know
so
what? Now we're
bad.
going to get a fucking Paul Joseph Watson video free on this entire Discourse.
I'm sure
All
we
of you
will.
are going to be called pedophiles, and I take
Yes.
no responsibility for it, because while it's
No,
true
I
that
know, but
I didn't manage my optics well, holy shit, the rest of the online left managed their optics poorly as well. Oh my god.
And now Vaush tries to reiterate his main argument, so that it sounds like he didn't walk back on anything.
I think I did.
Demon
some
Mama doesn't
things.
want to give it, though.
Your tweets look fine to me, by the way. I'm not impugning you. But the
Aw.
broader discourse that I saw from the left was this insane defensiveness.
Okay, give me an example. Let's talk about it. I would love to talk about this with you.
I don't remember specific tweets. The only point that I'm trying to make here is that if you're an outsider, like, let's say let's just say you're a conservative, whatever, okay? Yeah, Shu apparently has many examples, no doubt. If you're a
I know. Shoot, you've been fucking
fun
chomping
watching
at the
this?
bit. If you want to talk to me anytime, just let me know.
my
We can have a
God.
talk on stream, okay? Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't want to go example baiting, especially because I don't want to malign content creators who I know have good hearts. And I know
Wait,
that
is he
they're
saying
fake,
Shu was
probably
doing
the
bad
same
things on Twitter?
that
I
I'm
don't
doing
believe that.
outside.
Or is he saying
I
she had
was
good
thinking
examples of it?
probably The issue because I was frustrated by a perception of a bunch of creepers that nobody was calling out, and they were frustrated because they didn't see the creepers and they just saw people making, like, moral panic arguments about the left. I know that there's both sides to this. I'm a very enlightened centrist when it comes to the fallibility of
Oh, she has examples there.
So I don't want to call anyone out in particular.
I think Vaush should have been agreeing. My prediction is, I don't know, I've given this publicly. I think Vaush and Shu will be dating within 3 months. That's my guess. If they're not already, and I just haven't announced it.
People
That's my
open
guess.
up the discourse with,
As far as I know, this is just a meme. Like, right, there's a group of people that ship Vaush and Shu, and I think that's where the meme comes from.
hey, kink and children shouldn't be next to each other, and then those people get dogpiled and ratioed by lefties who disagree. That's just never, even if there's a lot of nuance to that, that's always going to be a massive fucking tire fire of a...
Okay, so let me weigh in on this just a tiny bit, because this is something that really grinds my gears.
What is this, guess?
I agree
Well,
that, like,
Vaush
that-
broke up
that's
with his
a
other
bad-
girlfriend.
that's a
He's a
bad
more
faith.
famous
Like,
YouTuber streamer now.
conservatives do this ridiculously
Shu's still
bad faith.
single.
Is this right? I mean, I've heard this theory. Wait, is Dylan in the chat? Somebody's saying, am I hearing Dylan?
Multiple.
No, sorry, is it in the VC?
An unbelievable amount of time sipping on her. 1,000,000% guaranteed. It's just, we'll just see what happens. We'll see who's right. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see what happens though.
That guy, he used an argument against me that was, why should I have
I
to
could be
indulge
wrong.
in your
We'll call it a hunch.
That is the core argument
one
that he
put on it?
said when he was asked to use
20
my
bucks.
pronouns correctly.
Okay, I'll
and
take
that
that
is
bet.
when
Alright.
people come up with that.
How much? How long
this
do we
is
have
the
to check
thing that
back in
people
before?
3 months.
That is
conservatism
3 months?
and
Okay,
bad
20 bucks
faith
on it.
example, and they show some picture from Wholesome, and then they say, why should children and kink be put next to each other? And then somebody goes, actually, that's not really what's going on here. Actually, this is not what we're talking about. This is, and they're responding to this bad faith example. I do agree. They're
Well,
baited in.
I agree that
Conservatives are lying.
conservatives-
They're propagandizing.
I agree that conservatives live on the moon and their opinions are worth dog shit. I completely agree
Yes.
with this. But we have to acknowledge that doesn't mean that we have no obligations to optics whatsoever. You and I both know this, okay? The left is the right always going to call trans people pedophiles? At least for
Yes.
now, yes. However, does it help our case if a bunch of trans people start fucking children, everyone defends them? No, that will probably make things worse. Now, I'm not saying we're doing that right now. I'm just saying that would probably worsen the discourse somewhat. And not to mention...
Also, sorry, I don't mean to do this. I know, I'm fucking violating the one streamer rule, but Shuon Head, you're so fucking full of shit on the idea that the left doesn't talk about this. I'm so sorry. But if you want to, argue about that, I'll fucking sit down with you about that. You're just full of shit on that. Sorry to call you out. You've been atting me this entire time. There you go. Anyway, let's continue. I will not respond to chat after this. I promise.
Jesus. I haven't even been reading chat except for when I yell at them.
I know.
I just want to say, okay, like, it's not just conservatives either. There are people in the middle. I know there are normie parents who are like kind of okay with the whole gay trans thing, but the idea of like going to a pride festival feels like too much for them. And a lot of those parents have queer kids. And like this discourse matters a lot to pulling over people who really are in the center. I know that because thanks to, okay, I'll play like subversive defense here. Thanks to seeing Shuon Head's community, which is ideologically diverse as fuck. The range of responses there is so different.
Ideologically diverse community.
The online left is so terminally online.
Really known for like their foreign policy, like acumen.
Aren't inherently sexual. That's a lefty moment right there. That's a you've never
known for their different loving of different flavors of Tulsi Gabbard.
Could be made more amicable to all of this, and it hurts
I don't even hate you. It's just
when, and this is again my perspective.
Not that ideologically diverse, to be honest.
That they won't. That I say, hey, this is creepy behavior, and every excuse is taken to not listen. Now, is that everyone? No, of course not. But optically, I think we're failures on all sides.
Of course there are failures. I mean, and I would argue.
I remember. I remember once.
You know,
I was on Twitter and Shuon Head was, I don't know why, but Shuon Head was going back and forth about foreign policy, and I messaged like under it like, hey, like well, how about the specifics of an Afghanistan withdrawal? And she just said, Dylan, don't even attempt to talk foreign policy with me. My foreign policy shit, and just never engage with it again. Just like a complete admission.
Okay, hold on. I'm listening. I've got the stream playing in the background, so like 7 voices going right now.
Inherently sexual or not. And by the way, I do think that there are reasonable positions that can be argued in that. I don't think we're going to see them on Twitter. I think that there are some reasonable arguments. Specifically with regard to like stuff like when people talk about like a dog mask or whatever, there's no fucking difference between that and popping on a furry hat. There's almost no difference, and we don't really frown on that. So I think these arguments can be made. We're not going to find them on Twitter. Okay, well, I agree with you.
Generally speaking, if I recall, DM's one rule is to not mess with the living job of other people. That's the one streamer rule.
And
I agree, but
if you run it
at the
hard
same
enough,
time,
almost any nuanced topic can be discussed, like in an academic setting or whatever. Like one of the topics that people kept bringing up that I thought was really inappropriate was the acceptability of public nudity. Because depending on how you bring that subject up, you can be either an enlightened philosopher with a gigantic 5-head, or you can be or you can be some crazy pervert. Okay, so like
I agree.
Right. So one of the issues I had is in the context of discussing adults engaging in kink around children, the legitimacy of public nudity is the least appropriate possible time to bring this up. Holy shit! We're not talking about breastfeeding here, okay? This is I can't believe people. But I saw thousands of people.
Oh god,
thousands of
going
people
back.
saying this. It's
going hard again.
insane to me. Like
at the same time, Vaush, people use the same identical arguments to respond to that. They do. I'm sorry. I know. It. Like on the other side, people do make the exact same arguments. They weaponize the same arguments against breastfeeding.
Let's not make it easier. Let's not make it easier for them to portray every leftist. I'm not saying we need to make it easier, but
what I'm saying is that not every single person on Twitter, not every single chatter is going to be a rhetorical genius. And I recognize one thing between blowing some fucking dumb shit out in chat. And again, I don't want to circle back at all.
I'm just like, man, when taking the bait,
by the way, real quick. Real quick, I did have one very specific. I did have one very specific critique of you in your video in which you talked about public nudity. I'm gonna bring this one up because this is funny as fuck. But you said, "Oh, in New York City, women are allowed to go topless, but they don't." That is not true. I've been to New York City so many times. There are literally every hour of every day there are topless women in Times Square. But just so you know. Okay,
but okay, sorry, I should have been more clear. But like, what percentage? Like, it's not like they're all doing it. Like, there are reasons the majority of them don't.
Wait, is that actually true?
Well, most men don't go shirtless, you know.
Wait, do I have any people that live in New York City that?
Yeah, you're probably right.
You're right. I'm just some women do, and that's great. God bless them. Look, I'll say this.
Or is it literally just like one activist person standing out there or whatever?
I
worked in Times Square. This is not true.
Hyperbolically call people pedophiles for like disagreeing with the take that I have on kink and children pride. Then I would.
I say maybe like one.
No, she's talking about arguing with someone in chat at the same time that you're arguing with a streamer of her voice. Yeah. I try to. I don't know. Is it chat? I ignore chat. Am I dumb for that? Should I not? Should I pay attention to chat? Do I need to, like, if somebody's like lighting me up in chat, do I need to respond?
Defend it by citing the legitimacy of public.
I feel like if that was true,
I mean, she might have that as her golden rule too. Like you might both be right.
I feel like I would just hear about it more.
Disagree with you because this is where I do disagree with you on this.
That to me is like orders of magnitude.
Hear me out.
Hold on, Vaush. Hold on, Vaush.
You know I'm fucking here in good faith. I've sat here this entire time.
Audience, I'm in good faith.
I won't even talk about chat, okay? But let's just you know I'm in good faith here. What I'm gonna say is I understand where you're coming from on that, but I strongly disagree. Like pedophilia and accusations of pedophilia is like the fucking almost the primary spear that is used against queer people of all stripes, and it was against gay people. I think that being careless with accusations of pedophilia when talking about pride, when talking about queer people, when talking about trans people, like I think that's really bad. I think that's a
the pedophilia. Like
wait,
which makes the left look more full of pedophiles, right? Is it a guy calling out pernicious behavior by calling the people who do it pedophiles, or is it the guys defending being nude in front of children in public? In my opinion, the latter is much greater.
No, I disagree with you. I think that. Wait a second. Hold on a second. You're trying to tell me that you think some lefty making a
how did he get killed? Anybody want to explain to me how he just died? Oh, this is the NPC dungeon that he was in.
Vaush. Come on, Vaush.
I guess it depends on the defense.
DM's only order is not to die, but I don't know if she has a rule for herself beyond that. I think it's good practice to ignore a chat. Most people want the recognition of you verbally addressing them. Yeah, I mean, like, it depends. Like, obviously, if somebody comes into my chat, you know, like, a lot of times I just roast them. Like, if somebody comes in hot to my chat, I generally just roast them. But, like, yeah, I mean, if I'm talking to a person, I'll generally give them my attention.
But I don't think that when you look into both the historical and the current context...
Generally, it's just good practice not to argue with chatter while you're talking to someone on stream.
...of how pedophilia is used as a weapon. And again, I know we agree on this. I hope we agree on this. That pedophilia is used as one of the primary, if not...
It bogs you down in side conversations and distracts.
...the primary weapon against queer communities.
Yeah, I just feel like when I debated Xander Hall, I feel like he used the chat. The chat was actually being... just, like... super, I don't know, like Xander Hall bad, right? They were just like really, they were giving him some really easy shit to push back on, let's just say.
It's not equivalent to somebody even having a...
But you're not doing it then. You're giving people ammo.
Wait, no.
I'm passing the ball to the left. When I say, hey, these people are acting creepy, the rest of the left can fucking slam dunk the ball that I just passed them and go, yeah, they are. We don't want that shit in our community. But they don't.
Wait, hold on a second. But you have to be clear about that, because if somebody, and hear me out on this. If somebody hears you say, this person is problematic, and they don't understand who you're talking about, which in this conversation we have established that there was a lot of unclarity, or at least some unclarity, and some hyperbole being used, those people who are responding to that might rationally conclude, hey, you're accusing people who shouldn't be accused of pedophilia being pedophilia. That's why I think it is in this conversation. Hold on, wait, I'm almost finished. I think, yes.
Probably a flying monster or something.
Okay, look,
but I don't think there were people calling people pedophiles before I even talked about this on stream.
Yes, there's always going to be, but that's not what we're talking about here. What I'm trying to say is, if you're going to make those sort of accusations, and you want the left to be on your side, and you want, and I'm gonna, if you want queer people who are, it's going into pride after Trump.
Can I just say one quick? I'm not interrupting. I'm sorry. I just saw something true. Okay. V-Beaks in chat. Hello, V-Beaks. Vaush is literally using the rights tactic of think of the children. You say to the judge while on trial for raping a child. Fuck you. Yeah, sometimes it's okay to think.
They're trying to out-optics the other so hard.
Keeping predators away from them. That's okay. That's just, but like, this is what I mean, man.
Okay,
man?
Yes.
Like, people feel confident saying this because they cloak it, because they would rather.
I would get called out, by the way, for misgendering there.
Like
just saying.
Then risk looking like a prude.
Wait, Vaush. With all due respect, I don't know anything about V-Beaks, but I don't think that you are a pedophile just because.
Pretty sure when I refer to a trans woman as dude, even though I call her a dude, I also get called out for misgendering.
I think it's a very creepy defense. I do.
Okay, well, I mean, I think that people use the save the children argument very irresponsibly about trans people all the time. In fact, that's what bathroom bills are predicated.
Dudes are so fucking fragile.
And I know you're not. But you understand why somebody could come to that conclusion rationally. And if you then say that anybody who critiques you along
I feel
those
so
lines,
sorry for you. Get called out on Twitter.
Come on, Vaush.
I've been fucking harassed for the last 2 months, you assholes.
Defenders, when somebody's just disagreeing with you, like, I feel like there's a lot of conflation. I
think you are dramatically understating the optical harm done by the insane shit that I see lefties do on Twitter.
Hey, Katsmaroon, how are you doing?
The extent to which the right's going to pick up on what I say.
Meow.
Even if I never said anything this whole discourse, the right is still going to make video responses to the crazy shit lefties were saying in response to shit.
We're watching
or even before Shiwan had this discourse.
I was kind of hoping that Destiny was going to give more. Like, I feel like Destiny just watched it and played Terraria and like laughed.
by calling people pedophiles and committing
when they act creepy about children and sex. Yes,
but here we go again. But this is the mass conflation. And this is where I was trying to get to my point, and you interrupted to yell at V6, and I get it. Okay, but listen, here's what I'm trying to say, and this is the core fucking thrust of my argument, and the main critique that I would bring to you as a colleague and as somebody who admittedly is a little triggered. I think we both have been over this issue. But if you're going to sling things like pedophilia, instead of just criticizing bad takes, if you're going to throw out things like pedophilia, especially in this topic, I would ask that you please be
Justine's
very
never
specific.
played
Call out an individual
a bunch
if
of
you're going
games
to, or
with
have evidence,
translating
or don't use
gamers.
pedophile. Because, again, as that being the primary weapon that is weaponized against trans people, that is weaponized against homosexual people all over the country, you know this.
Did she just say homos?
That item, not only does it
That's
embolden
right.
the
You
right,
caught her.
but
She's
it also
homophobic,
spreads
Destiny.
a
Good
lot
job.
of genuine
Got her.
toxicity
Got
and
her.
fear among the left. And
Canceled.
I'm sorry, but you are one of the biggest and one of the most influential leftist people in America right now.
America.
That's big.
Don't
okay?
you think?
And
Don't you think it also makes the left and the queer community look really bad when you come on here and say essentially you have to be extra careful pointing out predatory or pedophilic behavior from
Damn,
queer
Vaush
people?
really hammering home those
It's
Destiny
obviously
arguments.
bad to
He's
be as
doing pretty well,
upfront
though.
in those communities.
Can't
as it
weird
would be in
chat
other
me, chat.
communities.
That's not what I said, though. I mean,
well,
that's how
hold
you're-
on,
if
because this is big, because I hear this before. It's basically
No
like,
comment.
You know, oh, you can't like say
No
this stuff about like,
comment.
ex-trans person or whatever, because trans people get this criticism, and well, that's true, sure. But when you're publicly acknowledging that and saying like, hey, you got to be more careful with this, it kind of makes
I
it
will
seem
neither
like you're going
confirm
easy
nor
on them,
deny
which
the
does
weird
not
champ.
extend
No,
from the
I,
other
what is
I
this,
do not
chest?
agree with this. I think that is a very unfair comparison. What I'm asking you to do is not, first of all,
Zen potion.
I would hold this to fucking anybody. I don't think that, like, okay, with the exception of fucking
astral chest.
QAnoners, who I call pedophiles because I fucking think they are.
Okay.
Fuck them. But that's a very
I mean, you
small
could argue
group
that
of.
poisons the well.
Yeah, but
it's the groups
sure,
that
but
we feel
it's not
okay
the same.
poisoning the well with, and creepy.
Okay, right, but do you really like? Okay, but
creepy
that's
people, I'm okay with.
but that's the problem. It's not the creepy people when you're not clear. It's not the creepy people whose wells getting poisoned. It's the general conversation
Is
because
there-
the wells are.
With my reputation online,
Especially
do
when you
realize that no
call
matter what
out
they
the
realize, this is the
LGBTQIA
identity, people
community
misinterpret what I say as being
with the
part of
comment,
that.
right?
This
Especially when that's
is
literally
not
where the
even
comments
war.
are like,
For God's sake, there was
I
a
know.
Facebook
It's like-
screen rant that I did. I
Vaush.
called out woke scolds, and people still think I'm saying trans people are mentally ill. When all I
Yes,
said
I
was
know.
this group of trans, mentally ill people. Is it good rhetoric? No.
Right.
But to this day,
No.
in spite of the grammatical disprovability of that statement, people still accuse me of
course.
that position.
I'm not saying
Grammatical
I'm gonna be that-
disprovability
who's
of
on
that
strike
statement.
too, by the way. In chat, make that accusation. No matter what I say, people are going to accuse me
Yes.
of
People are
attacking
going
the
to.
left, of attacking
agree with
queer
you.
people.
And I think that's unfair. I agree with you that will happen. However, it would be significantly less if there was some care in that, some more care, a lot more care.
comma,
and I'm not
pedophiles.
saying this is. I really hate the argument that I'm saying like you need to be lighter on or more careful with. What I'm saying is you need to be. No, it's not. It's not. Don't even try. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. And you know that that's not
Come
what I'm
on,
trying to say. Come on,
Vaush.
this is ridiculous. The
No,
idea that it is a daily occurrence, a literal daily nationwide occurrence. Every single time Fox News boots up and does a segment about trans people, they're going to be fear-mongering about pedophilia.
Which is
I
why
don't
you're
think that-
saying we should
I
be more
don't think-
careful with it with the queer community.
Yes, because it is very easy for those wanton accusations to have very bad results. And you,
So
but
we
what you're
should be
making
more
out to be, no,
careful.
you're making
You're making the conservative argument, Vaush.
Right? So we should be more
the
careful.
argument. No. Okay, hold on. The argument that you gave to me was like, oh, we need to be super on eggshells, and it's a bad look to say that we shouldn't be that we need to not actually question people, or that we shouldn't question predatory behavior. I'm not talking about that. There are predators, of course, and we should fucking expose them.
But we should be more
fucking do-
careful.
We should be careful not to catch people who aren't pedophiles in the blast,
But
which is
who
really
are
easy to
pedophiles,
do
right?
when the normalcy, when the
I think that's what you meant.
normality of the standard status
So
quo,
you
the
are
normal
saying
rhetoric.
there is a degree of care that we should exert specifically with the LGBTQ community that we wouldn't exert with other communities, that we are enacting a preferential treatment.
Well, I mean, I guess
If you
it
want to
depends
bite
on
the ball,
how-
because here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
we-
mean,
I
that's
kind of
fine.
already gave
Sure,
my
like,
comment
I
on
guess
this
to a
one
certain degree,
before,
it depends on how
right?
far you want to go. Like, I don't really, in general,
Vaush
I don't
is
really agree with
missing-
calling people pedophiles in general because for a number of reasons. unless I have evidence of it.
What Vaush is missing is that the majority of error in regards to, you know, queer people and accusations of this kind of stuff is misattributed, is basically bias and making the assumption that like putting that on. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like there's some people that if you try to like tie them to a stake and light a fire underneath them, it won't burn because they got privilege, right? Their wood's not wet. Their wood's not vulnerable, right? You got to really light them up. You got to really have, there's got to really be some fire there for people to start thinking that they're sus. With queer people, all you gotta do is make the accusation. There's kindling, there's hay, there's fucking, like, pocket lint, right? There's, like, the most flammable shit in the fucking world. There's gasoline all over our bundles of sticks, right? And like, so as a result, it doesn't take much to get that fire going, and innocent people can be fucked over really fucking quickly, can be character assassinated, can be, you know, set up. Like, we saw this in the Satanic Panic. Part of the Satanic Panic was queer people getting accused of doing horrible acts of child abuse, right? With no fucking proof. And guess what? Some of these people were in jail up until very recently. Some of these people lost a good portion of their lives to these false charges. So that, Vaush, is why you have to be careful with that rhetoric, instead of making the assumption that, like, oh no, the problem is that there's a bunch of queer people doing this shit and they're getting away from it. Vaush, do you understand why people see you as, like, a slightly right wing in that case? You know, do you understand why that might give you, like, I'm not saying it's right? I'm not saying that's where you're coming from, but do you understand why that would, like, you know, show up to some people that way? Do you get it, right? And do you see what the danger is there? Like, please don't add any more fucking kindling. Please don't throw any matches, Vaush. This is dangerous shit for us.
Evidence of it.
Oh.
Okay? That's what, because
Wait.
I think that is something that's like, I don't know, that's like calling somebody a fucking murderer. It's a pretty major accusation. I avoid that. But what I'm going to say is, if
That's
you're
a
going to make
clippable
broad
moment.
blasts, if you're going to make broad jokes that
Soy.
are easily misconstruable, then yes, you should be careful around using that against a community who is constantly demonized for that thing. Because you could very easily, unintentionally, embolden that rhetoric. And by the way, that rhetoric exists not just as a tool of the right, but it persists in leftist spaces.
I just think we're mostly emboldening that rhetoric by, like, not taking seriously the presence of the creepy behavior by making the rhetoric true. Like,
do you think it's possible that in your videos, and this is just an honest question.
Yes, I should have been more specific.
Just asking.
No, wait, hold on, wait.
Do you think you might have contributed to that, Vaush?
Possible that with the number of viewers that you have, and with the carelessness of the rhetoric, to whatever degree
I
it is,
still don't get where Destiny's coming down here. Like, it sounds like, at times it sounds like he legit agrees with Demon Mama. At other times it sounds like he agrees with Vaush. Obviously, he's enjoying Vaush getting fucked over a lot more than he's, like, you know, reveling in Demon Mama's, like, misery. So it feels like overall he's on, you know, not, I won't say on Demon Mama's side, but, like, anti-Vaush, right? The Finders. Okay, so the Finders, oh my god. Did the Finders add to the panic? The Finders were, like, another thing that happened that was, like, utilized to sell this message that, like, something weird was going on, right? The Finders was, like, a fucked up cult of, like, I don't know what they were. Like, were they, like, ex-hippies or something like that? But, like, it was, yeah, a really weird cult. There was actually nothing, though, as far as abuse, like, found with the Finders. The weird thing about them was that they were, like, they would take in members, and some of these members would have kids. They'd take the kids, separate them from the members, and be like, okay, you, this member, you will take care of these 3 kids that are not your kids. And these people would, like, so a group of these people were found in Florida, like, a couple of dudes, I think, that were taking care of 3 kids, not very well, right? Like, they weren't really, like, the kids were, like, you know, looked kind of like they weren't being, like, you know, bathed, or they were, like, flea bitten and stuff like that. Like, they weren't, you know, but anyway, the cops, you know, didn't really find anything to be able to take these guys in on. And ever since then, there's been, like, stories that, like, somehow, that there was something really bad, that they were doing satanic ritual shit, right? And I think they did have, like, a thing where they were, like, trying to teach the kids how animal slaughter works or something like that. And so they did, like, anyway, there's some weird people, but, like, the weird shit that they did, which the FBI found kind of was like, okay, this is really weird, but, you know, there's nothing we can do, right? It got turned into, like, oh, here's the deal. They were actually doing satanic shit, and the FBI got compromised by the Satanist network. The Satanist network got right there in the FBI and made him stay away from the case. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't go near the case. You can't go near the case because these are our friends. You know, like, it was this weird fucking conspiracy theory that, like, Yeah, so like basically, yeah, anything that happened got thrown into the pot and got like added to fuel for the fire. Like, right, you know, the so like the it's I think it's a phenomenon really similar to the witch trials. And I think that this has an aspect of that to it as well.
Small or major, do you think it's not possible that many people who do not understand how to make that argument went around and called and accused people of pedophilia for disagreeing with their take on it when they weren't actually making an argument in favor of pedophilia? Do you think it's possible that that carelessness could actually contribute to a problem that exists on the left in a major way? And by the way, just real quick, I know I'm doing the big talk, but I want to qualify this because I want to show people what I'm talking about. I have done a major segment, and I've talked about this and revisited it multiple times, about fucking Chapo guys engaging in a ridiculous dogpiling of a trans sex writer in which they told her to go to prison. Massive accusations of pedophilia over literally nothing.
How is the kink pride discourse today? I don't fucking know, dude. It has been, we are just catching up right now. This is Destiny's like playthrough. Like, I was really thinking that he was gonna say more, but most of what he did was just like laugh at Vaush for getting clapped and maybe disagree with Demon Mama a little bit.
Just because it's that easy. It's that easy for it to start back up again. And it does.
Day 4 living under the Takemeister 2021.
Do you think it's possible?
I mean, according to my analytics, millions of unique users watch me. So statistically, yeah, that has to happen, of course.
Okay.
But I could also make the reverse.
Oh, we ignored the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Latter-day Saints due to the Satanic Panic, which is ironic. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Hey, listen, for people who have this like save the children mentality, think of the children, right? You're not really helping the children. Because when you focus on a marginalized group as being sus, and you just want to superimpose this idea of like, oh yeah, there's something going on there, right? What are you doing? You're paying attention to one group that really there's no red flags and possibly missing some other red flags, right? And there's plenty of religious organizations that you can point to that, like, you know, had scandals like you're talking about in chat with, you know, those two religious groups and, you know, like all kinds of groups, right? You know, the thing that happened in Penn State with the like summer program, like, you know, like it was like a kids sports summer program where kids were getting abused. Like, this shit is pretty widespread, but if you're paying attention to like, oh yeah, no, it's going to be in the LGBT community, like that's where, like, if you've got this like idea that like somehow like that's where it all is, that's where it's, you know, it's like, oh god, I hate to make this comparison, but, you know, like I said before, like, you know, if you're paying attention to like, you know, hating somebody, you're likely to miss important details, right? That might keep you from getting in trouble, that might, you know, like, you're likely to fuck things up, right? If you're paying so much attention to, like, fucking over somebody you hate, you'll tend to, you know, for instance, get trolled. You'll tend to believe people that you shouldn't because they're telling you things that you want to hear about people that you don't like, right? Yeah, they, like, that kind of bias, right, you know, can cause real crime, real harm being done to children to be missed. So it's a double-edged sword, and they're both bad edges. They're both really bad edges.
Argument that I'm also contributing to the optical defense of the left by emboldening and making aware many
Public hysteria can be unreal. Trans people need to be protected. Absolutely.
People of legitimately creepy behavior that they will then be better about policing, which can lead to the reduction of real harm in the future. Anything is possible. I can always do a better job.
But the efficacy of that is predicated on how clear you are.
I know that, but I know,
but wait,
Vaush. Wait, Vaush.
That's why I'm saying the clarity is important.
I agree, but I don't.
Where do you get ruinous souls from?
I'm substantiating the second part of my argument, which is that if these things, and this goes out to members of the chat as well, if you're going to make fucking accusations of pedophilia, make it clear.
Is it a hard boss or a mini boss?
Reiterate, by the way, that apart from the unreleased stream section, all of my accusations were tied to very specific criticisms.
It's not unreleased, but Vaush, it's not unreleased if you had thousands upon thousands of viewers when it went live.
Okay,
yes,
but
you didn't put it up as a video.
An order of magnitude more people consumed.
So many to list. Funny Fridays is a great LGBTQIA positive plus positive source for all this stuff if anyone's interested in that.
the released video and the Twitter conversations. Well, I mean, at any given time, I probably have around 10,000 people watching a live stream. So 10,000 people saw the initial take, but then the subsequent video
Not
has
that boss. It's called
100,000 views.
Poltergeist.
So at least one order of magnitude.
This
more
way
people
down
have seen
here?
my responsible criticisms, including most of the people who saw the initial stream. I'd be willing to bet that the ratio of people who saw the first stream segment to the second was probably, or not the second, is probably like 1 to 50. So now, is
So
that
I
a
can't build
portion
this
that could
blood
have been
armor
negatively
until
affected because of my non-specificity? 100%. But I feel like I've acknowledged.
I can't
that,
upgrade
and
any of my
still
gear
feel
right
like
now?
I was specific enough to point
After
out
beating
the
2
obvious.
bosses?
And the
I
response
will agree you've acknowledged.
response that I've gotten from the rest of the left has been very discouraging, and a reminder of why I work alone.
Oh, come on, Vaush.
Was
I mean,
that
from the
supposed
rest
to
of
be a
the left,
Batman? That was the Batman, right?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm not the left, right?
Was that
Well,
the
you're not
Batman?
the entire left. I mean,
Yeah. A lot of,
it would be a significant improvement if we were. Whatever opinion people in chat
Yeah,
have.
thank you. Appreciate that.
It
Appreciate
doesn't
that.
get
And
worse
fuck
than
you, chat.
lefty
Dude,
Twitter.
chat's been so fucking asshole. Holy shit, you guys are assholes to me. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I mean, I opened by talking about how I felt like there was this contingent of like really creepy lefties who were abusing progressive rhetoric to get away with making weird comments about children, and you said that wasn't really happening or that I was overstating it. So I think the frustration.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, okay, we are 2 hours into this. We have to. I was gonna play Resident Evil tonight.
All right, can I give
Hey,
you?
you're the one with the fucking take meister, dude. Don't play.
Like a take.
Like,
that
oh
will
my
hopefully
god, we're
add
2
some
hours into
good-
this, dude.
good
You're the one that
content
did the
into
take
this.
meister, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Listen. All right. Here we go. Look,
I think people
Kink
just
and
aren't
Pride,
used to
they
getting
have a long
caught
history
at their
together.
take meisters.
Obviously, be nice and considerate and caring, but at the same time, remember that at one point, even and right now in the state of Pennsylvania, as
Yeah,
of
I
yesterday,
guess he's saying that
it's
there's
considered
less
obscene
people
and
watching the
degenerate to
stream
even
at any
be
given
that.
time.
So keep that in mind when you're talking about these things, and remember that society weaponizes these things all the time. And I'm not saying that Vaush did that. I'm not saying that you guys are doing that, but keep that in mind, okay? Because that is one of the primary weapons that is used against gay and trans people all over this fucking country every single day.
I'm
blasting
glad
out of
Demon
s-
Mama's
fucking
got that
Fox
stuff in
News' ass
mind.
at all hours. So let's remember that kinksters aren't fucking monsters.
Yeah, keep in
The
mind that
vast
certain
majority of them are
charges,
fucking
certain
pedophiles,
tropes get
and the ones that are
weaponized
should be able to
against
fucking find evidence
marginalized
of that
people.
without just being careless, okay? That's my take. There's my positivity. We can do this fucking together, but calling each other pedophiles is probably not the best way to do it, okay?
It won't be the last time.
I know it won't be.
We're gonna do it more. We're gonna do it so much more. Next big
Gosh.
drama arc, okay?
Put down the pedophile sword, or
You have the ruin
or
of
die
Ghost
by
of
the pedophile
Storage?
sword, please.
I
Oh my
was-
god.
I was slain by that sword a long time ago. Okay,
Oh, I
I'm
know you
fucking white now. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Be well.
Yeah, likewise. Okay. I don't. Much love to you. Okay.
All
Seriously.
right, peace.
All right. Bye.
One love.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.
Imagine meeting a 32-year-old man with the same humorous destiny. Well, David, what makes you feel better? We'll never have to meet because your mom has a strict policy about not introducing her fuck buddies to her children.
Okay, well, that was fun. That was fun. Okay, chat, let's see. What should we watch next? Anybody get suggestions? I'm thinking about checking out Demon Mama's stream from tomorrow. Yes, I've got access to Demon Mama's stream from tomorrow. We're really good friends now. So, yeah, she gave me access to not just like all of her streams, but all of her future streams as well. So we're gonna go ahead and watch one of her future Demon Mama's stream for tomorrow. We're gonna get to watch that early, fucking pre-release. Because I'm so damn connected, chat. I am so fucking connected. Okay, what do we got here? So, yesterday, she did a Holy Mackerel stream, and I think she talked about the drama in this thing. So, yeah.
All right. So I'm
Smoking
gonna do
those
my
cloves.
Kink at Pride take at long last. After all of the spice and everything, people get to actually hear my take. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Here we go. No, it hasn't been 1 month. It's been like a week and a half.
Wait, did I,
Pride
like,
Kink.
literally
When I
just
say-
come...
when I
Okay.
say Pride at Kink at
The
Pride,
Vaush
Jesus
debate.
Christ.
Wait, this was the Vaush debate itself, right?
Yes. Kink absolutely
no.
belongs at Pride. Okay?
No, this is
And here's
the...
reasons.
Oh, God, there's a lot of stuff.
First of all,
Actually, yeah.
the fundamental reason why Kink belongs at Pride.
I think she did... It looks like she did a good,
Point in history, and
She touched on some
places to this
important
day.
things here. Let's watch
I got
this.
to call in on Vaush's stream about the pedo cannon, and I thought that was kind of hard to watch as a vimp. All those people shitting on you and Vaush while trying to be both entertaining and have a serious discussion. Guys, okay, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something real quick. Real quick, okay?
Okay, here we go.
Let me tell you something. Vaush and I are both very strong people, okay? We are very strong. And this issue was ridiculously emotional for every single person involved on every
Future
single
streams.
side.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
What? You still don't know why he let me on? That was not a good call. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Vermin. I mean, I wasn't prepared for that conversation. All I was trying to do was make sure that I was not being fucking weaselly about my critiques.
Okay, so, I was there. She said one thing about Eris I still feel a bit bad about. I'm sure she didn't mean bad by it, but it came out rough. Wait, what? Sorry, Ash, are you talking about this stream? Oh, yeah, it looks like she's getting rated by aristocracy.
And I agree. Listen, I agree. I came in very hot to begin with. But to be fair, it was a very hot issue. And I, at the beginning of the conversation, I did not feel like Vaush was being honest about how hard he went on this particular issue. However, by the end, we worked it all out. Okay? We worked it all out. Vermin, I agree with you, but at the same time, Vaush made all these takes public, and he openly said on Twitter that he was going to dump gasoline onto the fire. So, if you dump gasoline onto the fire and you accidentally summon a demon...
Wait, so she gets raided by Eris and somehow says something bad about her? That's weird.
Mama.
I thought they were friends, or at least
Can you really
copacetic with each other.
Really blame the mama for that? I'm sorry. Look, there is no bad blood between Vaush and I promise you. Now, at least as far as I
mean, that's how I read it. Yeah.
Understand. If Vaush
I don't know. Like, it's really hard to tell, but yeah, like, I didn't take it like the bridge was burned. Like, I didn't feel like the bridge was burned. Did anybody feel like the bridge was burned? It didn't seem like it, right?
Blood against me, that's unfortunate, but I promise you I am strong enough that we will be able to talk it out in the future. Okay? I promise. You have to understand, I am a very strong person. Vaush is a very strong person. It's all good. We had an intense conversation, and guess what? Do you want to know? Do you want to know what the most satisfying thing was? Do you want to know what the most satisfying thing of all was? Destiny, that motherfucker jumped the goddamn gun. He did a dirty rat restream of our conversation entitled it Demon Mama and Vaush Burn the Bridge. But we didn't burn the bridge, did we? And in fact, Destiny didn't even have anything to say.
That's actually true. And most of the time I would like, you know, get on somebody for like calling restream is a very specific thing, right? We learned about that when I was accused of restreaming, and Demon Mama herself's definition of restreaming showed what I did not to be a restream, right? So anyway, I'm not trying to blow things up again, but she believed some trolls, basically. You know, the trolls came in, they said NCC bad, NCC did the bad thing, and Demon Mama was just ready to believe that. Just, oh yeah, no, I know NCC, she does bad things. NCC bad, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. It's a thought-terminating cliche, Demon Mama. It's easy to fall prey to, but yeah, you definitely got you baited in that, and I got you baited a little bit too, believing something about what Dylan was asking about that didn't end up being true. So we all got kind of fucked over by trolls in that situation. That was honestly, that last like blow up was a drama that never should have happened. So yeah, to have her make her big like anti, like, oh, I'm gonna bury NCC, and then just come up like not even able to deliver. She had one really good dunk ready, and she was just too mad to actually. Anyway, let's not revisit that. But yeah, this is what the fuck was I talking about? Oh my god, chat, I got spicy.
Whoopsies, whoopsies. As always, Destiny, the gun jumper.
Oh yeah, the restreaming. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like, honestly, you do need to add a little something, add a little value to a stream that you're gonna watch. You know what I mean? Make it so that they're gonna get something out of it that they wouldn't get by just watching the stream itself. And I don't know if Destiny really did that. I mean, to be fair, he was probably just trying to catch up on the drama so that he could talk about it later. So I don't know. I'm not trying to hate him for that, but yeah, there wasn't a lot of commentary. I was kind of a little bit disappointed, actually.
False advertisement, lefty misinformation. Lefty misinformation! Yeah, I mean, I agree, Vermin. See, that's the thing. Most people, listen, okay, let me explain something. And Vermin, you can tell me if I'm wrong on this. Lexi! Doe! Oh, my lovely Doe. Hello. And also, hello, Eris. Wonderful to see you. I just noticed you were in chat. Now, let me tell you something. Wait, Vaush Vidya just subscribed. Wait, did I miss a subscription somewhere? Oh, somebody gave a gift. Thank you for the gifted sub, anonymous gifter. Thank you. Now, real quick, let me tell you something, okay? Ready? And if I'm wrong, Vermin can tell me otherwise. But there are some people in this world
who, the best way that they solve issues is by, basically by, beating each other up a little bit, okay? Like some people, they have a fight with a friend, and instead of letting it stew over like 20 conversations, they just go, all right, fuck it. And they throw down, and they beat each other up, and then at the end, they pat each other on the back and go, all right, good fight. And I'm that type of person sometimes, okay? And I think Vaush is that type of person sometimes too. We're both debaters. We're both pit fighters.
It was passionate, but they're okay with each other. Yeah. With Eris, her video goes into a story about her being assaulted at a pride parade, and Mama kind of spoke on it without watching her video, but I might have misheard. In this right here.
Okay, that's how it happens. So we had a big conversation and we worked it out. There you go. Yeah. Now, of course, I'd be willing to handle it off stream, but, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Look, and also, I'm going to also be honest. Listen. Also, remember, here's another thing. And this might change in the future. Maybe. We'll see. And if it doesn't, that's okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to thread the needle of parasociality, okay? I consider Vaush a colleague and potentially, you know, I mean, I'd like to be friends, but these things are hard to figure out, and I don't want to feel like I'm being weird by like DMing Vaush and being like, yo, this isn't it, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So I did the streamer thing a little bit in that I popped up and I said, hey, here's my take in chat. And then Vaush said, get on here, let's fucking sort it out. And we sorted it out, and it's fine. Okay? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And maybe in the future, if Vaush would prefer, in the future, I can DM him. All right, then I won't worry about it, okay? I won't worry about it as much in the future. I won't, okay? Are one of you gonna upload the conversation? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I think there was value that came from it. I think we both made our points by the end of it. I do acknowledge, by the way, I acknowledge that, oh yeah, don't worry, well, you can watch it. I think Chud Logic is covering it tomorrow, and I think the Surfs is covering it right now, which is kind of wild. But, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of viewers were stressed because they were worried. Okay, listen, let me, this is a drop into hot truths moment, okay? A lot of viewers have been primed to understand that any conflict between their content creators will be ruthlessly milked for every single drop of drama possible. And that's not how I do things, okay? And I don't blame the chat for being that way, because, I mean, after all, this space has been dominated by some pretty spiteful people for a very long time. But that doesn't have to be the case forever. Yeah. Nah, I would never do that, Goddess Trans Girl. You see, because if people are talking about me, that means I'm growing. I wasn't even properly prepared. Oh, by the way, just so you all know, I make facial expressions even when I'm off camera. That's not just a camera thing. Like, I just am like that. That's just how I am. I'm a very expressive person. That's how I am.
Wait, yeah, it's so weird that would be a criticism. That's so bizarre to me. Really?
Can somebody get Ding Dong Dangler out of chat, please? IP ban that person.
What's Ding Dong Dangler do?
I know who that is. Let my gay flesh go, thus saith the Lord. I will not let my gay flesh go. My voice is a little rough.
What do you think, little dude?
I've been on voice basically for 3 days.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad Gay Fesh is free. Listen, I've said this before, but if Gay Fesh gets mad at me, I know that I know that I've compromised my emotions. Something that people should know about Gay Fesh. Now, Gay Fesh isn't a streamer, but that doesn't mean that he's not a fucking content creator. You know, Gay Fesh is a fucking musician. Gay Fesh has made music for multiple channels in this space. Gay Fesh actually is very plugged into streaming, and Gay Fesh has a really, really, really fucking good sense of when people are, like, emotionally compromised. And to be fair, Gayfesh has called me on it multiple times. And Gayfesh, I'll remind you, Gayfesh was the first person that I recognize who told Vaush to like take a step back during the thought slime drama. We know how that went. I've done it. Every streamer's done it. Gayfesh is just very good at that. So I'm glad to see that Gayfesh is freed. Gayfesh made the electronic MIDI cover of Vaush Rad. It was Holic Master who made Vaush Rad. Thank you. Thank you, Posadas John. All right, you're welcome, Gayfesh. You're welcome. Listen. Okay. It is a hard time of year, and the Thunderdome is coming. I want to be able to give out appreciation to the people I appreciate freely, given that, I don't know, shit is wild. Wasn't chat having people pouring gasoline? Oh, yeah. Yo, chat was going fucking wild. Shoo. You can come on my stream and we could talk if you ever want to. Seriously. Anytime. Professional courtesy. Consider it that. Okay? You don't have to at me 222 times in VGG chat. All right? All right, Shoo? It's all good. Same thing goes for you, Chris Raygun.
See, I want the Lacy Green debate.
You want to challenge what you said about New York City yesterday? You can't. Do you know
I
how
want
much
the
time I've
Lacy
spent in
Green
New York
debate.
City? Yeah, sorry, Alias. If you haven't seen the tits that are always on display, the only time there are not tits in Times
it was
Square
a long time
is
ago.
when it's raining. That's it.
Thought
That's the
Slime
only
Drama
time.
was like 2
Zan was
or
like,
more
I'll
years.
fix this. I'm like, no, Zan, it's
I don't
fine.
think that Demon Mama
I
was
appreciate
even
it, but it's fine.
streaming when the Thought Slime. I don't think I was streaming when
Alias.
the Thought Slime Drama happened.
Alias.
This was
You're
a
wrong.
long time ago.
You're just wrong. Okay? I lived in New York for fucking 3 years. Okay? Also, not to keep flexing, not to take the win even harder, but listen, I'm a fucking raging lesbian. You think I'm gonna miss any tits ever? No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Okay.
I
So,
still haven't
yeah,
heard an
I am-
explanation
yeah, by
of
the way,
like
so I heard.
what does it feel
listen,
like
okay?
when you smoke cloves?
Yesterday, a sacrifice
Like,
was
does
made
it-
to the blood gods. Okay, everybody.
Does
By the
it
way,
do
If
something?
you're here, we have a whole bunch of new people in here.
Does it make
which is
you?
fucking
Does it
Tommy
wake
shit.
you up?
So
Does
if you're
it
here,
make you calm? Does
please
it do
like
anything?
the YouTube stream. It's free to
Or
like
is
the
it
YouTube
just
stream.
the
And make
nice
sure that you
taste?
subscribe because my videos are fucking amazing.
Does anybody
I just
know?
put out a
Does
video
anybody
about Tim
understand
Pool on
cloves?
Bitcoin, and it is funny as fuck. Okay.
I remember
my segments
smoking
are the
them
funniest shit. So
once
even
or
if you don't end up
twice.
tuning in for every stream, you can catch my segments. Subscribe and
When I was,
like
like, in
the
high
stream.
school.
Seriously, thank you. Very happy to have you here today, by the way. So now that that's out of the way. Let me tell you, we have some treats. Oh, do we have treats today, my lovely imps? Not only do we have a brand spanking new entire playlist of Cooking Mama to go through, but we also have Holy Mac to go over and enjoy.
Okay, where are we?
And let me tell you, the blood gods were pleased with the sacrificial bloodletting between Vaush and Demon Mama yesterday. And let me tell you, just so you know, every single
Is he gonna-
politics streamer, with the exception of I think Chud Logic,
Oh
who
my
was sleeping at
God.
the time, was watching that stream yesterday.
Chat has I know Chud Logic talked about this today. Has Vaush talked about it? Right? Does anybody know? Has Vaush streamed about this again?
Pigeon pictures. Okay, I'm pausing. I'm sorry. I'm not doing. Hold on. I need pigeon pictures. Pigeon! Oh my god! What was I saying? Oh yeah, blood gods.
You've
Yeah,
seen
the blood gods
Pigeon
were very
before, right?
They're very happy. And let me tell you, we had Shoe on Head, we had Chris Raygun, we had Bastiat, we had Destiny, we had The Surfs. The only person I know of who wasn't watching that besides Chud Logic was Hassan. That I know of. And you might have watched it. So we had basically all of the big politics streamers I saw watching. Oh, and I know, but for the record, that there were other people watching as well. Wink, wink. Oh, Hassan sent his chat. Oh, interesting. See? So, the blood gods were pleased yesterday. And what we have been gifted in return is a treat for you, my lovely imps. Yes, you. You will be the beneficiaries of Vaush and I's sacrifice upon the altar of blood. Oh, yes. Because today, people I don't like are tearing strips out of each other. Oh, they're tearing strips out of each other. And when
I'm
I say
curious what
they're
she's
really
talking
tearing strips
about.
out of each other, oh my god.
Chat, who's she
Some of you
talking
may have
about?
heard.
Who's
Some of you
fighting?
may have heard. There was a
Mel?
very, very bloody debate on Hans of Harkir's channel yesterday about the topic of kink at Pride.
Oh, okay.
And in that debate,
We watched this yesterday on Twitch. We're gonna watch the second half of this tonight, just after this stream.
Let's just say things got very spicy, and I mean unprecedentedly spicy.
It's not just spicy. Things got
I can't. Let's be real.
fucking
I can't watch that on
ridiculous.
stream without making my life hell. But I am going to
And
say
that video's coming
that, boy,
out
oh boy,
maybe
my
tomorrow
lord, when
if I can
Fallout
get it
falls in
done.
my
Oh
favor,
my god,
okay?
chat. I don't know.
And I can tell you right now,
I'll try.
there has been some favor. But first, before we talk about the direct one, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Mel did something, I'm sure. Not
so some
surprised.
of you know that this
Not
channel
surprised.
has had some history with a tanky and a, let's just say, very, very vindictive lawyer. Yeah? And that tanky and that lawyer have been at each other's throats for the last,
Okay,
I
so
don't know,
Mel versus
bit of time.
Redacted from Redacted.
Today,
And then
let me show you
RGR
the image that
versus...
sums it all up, okay? The cancelers.
Oh,
are
DSK!
canceling each other.
RGR versus DS...
Goom, goom, goom. We got a Mel tweet being responded to by Xavier, being responded to by Riley, and of course, it blew up.
Okay.
Now, I think this is a very stupid take. A phenomenally
Oh my
painfully
god,
stupid
chat.
take.
What the fuck just happened?
And also bad
what
faith.
the fuck?
Even and remember, you know what I think about
I'm just
Mel. You all
watching
know
it.
about
I'm
how I
just
think about
watching it,
Mel's,
chat. That's
behavior
definitely
on
gonna
Twitter.
get clipped
But if
by
you think
Samantha.
that Mel's takedown here is
Yeah?
saying that trans women are inherently kink.
She's in a
This is
contest with
motherfucking
Mr.
stupid.
Geek to see
For
who
once,
can make
I side with Mel on
NCC
this.
look like
Mel
the
said
most
we
of a
should have more kink at
dumbass.
Pride, actually.
Biggest
Could I do it?
dumbass in...
Have trans women who don't pass or look like the media idea of transness at the front of every parade and speaking event. Push black trans organizations or groups to signal boost the things that they have long been pushed aside. Now, and a charitable and reasonable person reading this would say, here is one, and here is two. These are 2 points. Any person who is even slightly charitable, even to Mel, would understand that that is what was being said. Only someone who is so deeply looking to try and find and own would come to this conclusion.
Oh my god,
I
oh my
might
god,
be
okay.
misinterpreting, but this reads as if Mel thinks non-passing
This is
trans women are
definitely
somehow resulting in a kink.
RGR.
And to me, that is unbelievably uncharitable, even for Mel, okay? And you know, I've tried to be charitable even to people like Mike from PA, who are not charitable to anybody else. I do. I try to give charitability to everyone, to the best of my ability. Don't always succeed, but I do my best. And then, though, Riley, of all people, well, I mean, I should say of all people, we all know how spiteful the new arc is, to respond like this.
Yeah. Has
is
she been
actually
covering? Okay,
fucking
so
shit.
chat, I was a little bit
Okay.
caught...
I'm
Maybe
gonna
Demon
explain
Mama's
why
been
this is
covering
shit,
Riley's
especially for this
transformation,
person
and
to
I'm a
be
little
doing.
late to this
Okay.
party.
I'm gonna
Has
explain
Demon
why,
Mama
okay?
been covering? So if you don't know,
Some
here,
of you don't know what Blanchardism is, okay?
Blanchardism is a really transphobic theory about trans people. It divides us up into HSTS. If you are, you know, first of all, it denies bisexuality. So it basically is like, okay, you're either like men and you're HSTS, which is homosexual, transsexual, right? Because Blanchard regards us as, like, you know, doesn't respect the, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's backwards, chat, is what I'm saying. And then the other one is even worse. Like, they really hate, like, gay trans women, and they call them something. I'm not even gonna say this because it's horrible shit. It's really fucking horrible shit. It's really fucking toxic anti-trans bullshit theory about trans people. That's what that is. Wait, what was I just Okay, so what I was gonna say is that, like, I found out last night when I looked at RGR's Twitter, she doesn't follow very many people on Twitter anymore, chat. She doesn't follow very many leftists on Twitter. The people that she follows on Twitter now are like Andy No, Jordan Peterson, you know, basically like conservatives. I guess she had some political awakening or something. I don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe Demon Mama can fill us in on what's going on. Because I was surprised. I was fucking legit surprised. And yeah, her takes were super trad. Her takes were super kink shamey. So yeah, you're going to see that video of Riley's weird champ debate coming out pretty soon here, chat. That's going to be one of my next videos. Let's go back to Mama.
Does anybody in chat? Some of you do. I know some of you do. Blanchardism. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to show you. We're going to have an educational segment here. Hold on. Let me show you. Okay. this is a real quick trigger warning for people who had to deal with this stuff in the past. I know that this might not seem like a trigger warning worthy take, but I promise you it is trigger worthy for a lot of people. So trigger warning right now. This is going to be tough. Real
The
quick. It's gonna
headphones
be a
got
short
very
little moment,
excited.
okay?
True.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Transsexualism
This is
typology
so bad,
is a
chat.
proposed psychological typology.
I'm glad
of gender
she's gonna
dysphoria,
go into it, 'cause
transsexualism,
I don't want-
and
I won't
fetishistic
even
transvestitism
say
created
it.
by Ray Blanchard throughout the 80s and 1990s, building on the work of prior researchers, including his own colleague Kurt Freund. Blanchard categorized trans women into two groups: homosexual transsexuals, HSTS, also known as true trans, who are attracted exclusively to men and who seek sex reassignment surgery because they are feminine in both behavior and appearance, and autogynephilic transsexuals, who are sexually aroused at the idea of having a female body. Supporters of the typology include sexologist Michael J. Bailey, a giant piece of shit, James Cantor, a giant piece of shit, Anne Lawrence, a bit of a piece of shit who's done some good things, and bioethicist Alice Dredger, a giant piece of shit who was involved in Gamergate. Okay? Also, not mentioned here is that Kenneth Zucker, who was strict
Somebody in Mama's chat's mentioning that ContraPoints also talked about this typology in her was her video called like AGP? Like it might have been actually named after the slur against gay trans women, right? And if you're bi, it totally just it's like no, bi people don't exist according to Blanchard. Yeah, Blanchard is a fucking dumb, like it's just a ridiculous like model.
Practice after running the Canadian Youth Mental Health Clinic in Toronto, where
Does Blanchard know about trans men? Good question. I've never heard Blanchard's takes on trans guys.
Where trans children were sexually and mentally abused, subscribed to Blanchard's typology. CAMH. Yep, CAMH. Also, Blanchard did not believe that trans men had a typology because and I'm not kidding you, because he said it made sense for women to want to become men. I'm not kidding you. That was his belief. Okay? I'm serious. I'm actually serious.
I actually dated somebody, chat.
You might go, oh, wait a second. How is this why does this deserve a trigger warning?
I'm going to talk about this stuff in a future video because like I've actually unfortunately had a lot of experiences with like the transmed philosophy without even realizing what it is, right? And Blanchard's typology is one of the things that it kind of hides behind. That idea of true trans, that kind of validation is something that transmeds seek. So yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about this in future videos because it is a big subject and it is important. I think I think I can add something to the discourse that hasn't really been touched on and that might be important. So yeah, look forward to that in the future.
For those of you who don't know, many, many, many trans women were subjected to an unbelievable amount of scrutiny to try and determine which of the two types of trans person they were. Now, of course, the science was in, let's describe.
Yeah, from what I understand, this was a very major theory, like in the 90s. Like this would have been considered, like this would have been like maybe what your therapist told you, you know, of like, you know, you fit into one of these two paradigms and depending on which one it is, if you get the HSTS, then, you know, you get some support in terms of transition. If you get the other one, then maybe not so much, right? It was a way of, you know, invalidating. And I don't think it was particularly kind to like, I don't think it necessarily looked at, it wasn't necessarily kind to the, you know, HSTS supposed subgroup either. Like it's a transphobic theory. It's a transphobic theory by a transphobic theorist who, you know, hangs out with a bunch of other transphobic assholes. That's what it is. But unfortunately, it was like it was like I wouldn't say accepted science, but it was an accepted theory.
In the words of his largest critic, biologist and trans activist Julia Serrano described Blanchard's typology as flawed, unscientific, and needlessly stigmatizing. It has been criticized by the World Professional Association for Transgender Health and now has been removed from as a serious reference from all worldwide psychological health standards, including a specific special mention in the current version of the DSM-5, which calls it an unproven theory. Hold on, I'm getting there. Don't worry, Blablato. I'm gonna explain to you. Why does this keep going out?
Because it's a clove.
So, many trans people, especially people about my age, you know, 30-year-olds in that ballpark, And in some places, still to this
Thankfully, never had this thrown at me. Yeah, it's pretty old school. It's pretty old school. I think it went out of fashion, like, you know, in the 90s or something, from what I understand. Which I mean, like, obviously some people still believed in it, but has a big trans presence. Bay Area has a big transparent presence. Only ever heard about it when it came into the wider discussion back in 2013 to 2014.
day, but much less common. Okay, would have been subjected to really, really fucking horrible questions, trying to piece them into the typology. Because of discrimination, because of prejudice, the typology spread through the psychological community. When I went to get my bottom surgery, and I didn't get, just for the record, I know you all know, I didn't get full bottom surgery. I only got an orchiectomy. But when I got my orchiectomy, one of the things I had to do was go through a psychological evaluation. During that psychological evaluation, I was asked questions that attempted to reveal whether I was a homosexual transsexual or an autogynephilic transsexual.
Wait.
They asked me about my sexual practices.
Wait a minute. Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
They asked me about whether I had been abused. They asked me whether I liked men or women.
I know there was something similar that I went through before, like, getting surgery. I didn't pay much attention to it, though. I just answered the questions with whatever. You know what I mean? I just answered I just wanted to get through it. I just answered the questions, chat. I don't actually know if it was like Blanchard. I don't know if that's what they were testing me out for. Like, whatever it was, I don't know. Like, I passed or whatever, but like, maybe it's just the same. Maybe I got run through this shit too, and I don't even realize it. That's scary. I kind of thought it was like out of favor, out of practice. I didn't think it was part of what, I mean, it seems like my therapist was fairly forward, progressive thinking. But I know, yeah, they did definitely, they wanted to ask me about my, like, childhood. They were like, you know, when did you first feel like you might be, like, you know, when did you first not feel comfortable as a guy, you know, where, like, what, you know, basically they asked me a bunch of questions and stuff, and I didn't really give it much thought. It was just a lot of rigmarole. It was like a lot of filling things out and, like, you know, sending in documents and just shit like that, right, to get everything that I needed for the surgery to go forward. I guess I wasn't really thinking about, actually, was I aware? I was aware of Blanchard. I didn't really think that Blanchard would still be relevant, though. Like, but from what Demon Mama's saying, like, you know, that you know, it definitely was relevant when she got surgery, so who knows?
And just so you know, that was, even at the time that I went through that, severely out of date. So, the reason why I'm doing this preamble is because it is a phenomenally shitty thing to make an accusation like this about another trans person, even one you don't like. We can talk about that sometime, aristocracy. I can explain that. So I find this to be...
And this is part of a system of gatekeeping, medical gatekeeping that's gone on, you know, ever since the treatment was available to, you know, like, basically analyze and verify who's worthy of, you know, getting treatment, right? It's
particularly shitty. And I do think that there are some trans people who do engage in this, but I think it should be substantiated. I don't think that a fucking tweeting... quote retweeting somebody and saying they're a fucking Blanchardist is a good thing. Now, there are some people I do think engage.
I mean, wait, so what did they say? Xavier's Online says, I might be misinterpreting, but I read as Mel thinking... Okay, so they think that Mel's tweet, which is, we should have more kink at Pride, actually, have trans women who don't pass or look like the media idea of transness at the front of every parade and speaking event. Push black trans organizers or groups to signal boost things that they have long been pushed aside from. Xavier Online says, I might be misinterpreting, but this reads as Mel thinking non-passing trans women are somehow indulging in kink. Wait, what? I actually don't get that. I don't get, but what is Xavier saying? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I see, I see. Because she's saying, she starts off saying we should have more kink at Pride, and then she says the idea of having trans women who don't pass or look like the media idea of transness at the front of the parade. So Xavier's interpreting that as like, wait, you said more kink at the parade and then this, so wait, do you think this is connected to kink? That's kind of weird. True, that is kind of weird. I don't think that's what Mel was saying, but Riley says, unironically, oh, okay, so I think she's so basically, it looks like Mel posted something that maybe wasn't super well thought out. Xavier Online jumped on it, and Riley's, you know, taking the chance to take a shot at Mel. So even though Demon Mama is not a big fan of Mel's, it looks like she's going to come to her defense here. So
I know that Blair White engaged in this. Blair White engages in this, obviously. There is a body of evidence. But Mel does not. And I can say this as, and I'm telling you, I can say this as somebody who probably is I have the most reason to not like Mel. Okay? I really do. And you know that I have all the reason in the world to not like Mel. Arguably more reason to not like Mel than I have to not like Riley. Because I was actually friends with Mel. I was actually close friends with Mel. And even with all that, I think this is a phenomenally dishonest and fucked up thing to try
one
and
tweet
pin
can have
on Mel.
multiple ideas. Yeah.
Okay? I really, really think it is.
Yeah, in general, I
think it's
don't
worse than
like
calling
people
somebody a
like
transmedicalist. I think it's
holding.
worse than calling somebody true scum.
I'm not
This
a big
is
fan of
this is
people
one
like
it is one of the most callous
parsing
and hurtful
people's
things because,
tweets.
listen, I don't know a whole lot about
You
Mel.
know, and
Well,
be
actually,
like,
I do know a lot about Mel, but I don't know what I can say is that I don't know a lot about how Mel got her diagnosis, how Mel got her HRT. Okay, I know a lot about Mel. I just don't know anything about that. We never really talked about that specific aspect. Okay, but I can tell you there is a very good chance because Mel is the same age as me. There is a very, very good chance that Mel had to go through the type of questioning that I had to go through. Oh, I think Vaush was fine.
Yeah, Archie,
So,
listen,
with
if
all
you
due respect, even though I love to see my opponents tearing strips out of each other,
somebody might be able to find this. If you want to find it, and I'll show it on stream, right? But RGR had to go at me when our relevance video came out, right? So our relevant and I did a debate a long time ago, in which I was basically defending Demon Mama's point of view on the RGR debate, and a relevant tried to say, well, isn't that the same as blackface? And I had some reasons, some logical reasons to say no. I pushed back on that. I obviously didn't endorse blackface, but of course the thumbnail was, is blackface okay? With a picture of my mug looking pretty stupid on it, right? So the implication is this dumb this dumb girl right here. She's gonna like Rachel Dolezal herself or something. And obviously that's not what happened. But Riley saw the thumbnail and she got so excited. Chat, if you don't know, Riley hates my guts because there's a guy named Drew Welty who Riley debated one day. Drew Welty's a conservative. I've talked to him. I don't agree with Drew Welty on a lot of things, but I respect him. You know, like as a righty, he's not that bad, I guess. I don't know, right? I don't have a huge problem with Drew Welty. Although I obviously don't agree with him on a lot of things. But Riley flipped out on him in that debate, and he didn't really do anything wrong, right? I mean, it was this weird thing where, like, he just kind of got, like, banned, like, and, like, I don't know, I kind of, she made it out to be, like, he had done something fucked up, and he actually hadn't, and so I, like, took a look at it, you know, and said, like, I think this is unfair. I don't think that Drew Welty deserves to be canceled, right? Like, that... And she's never forgiven me for that, so right, you know, she just needed a victim for her fucking drama cycle, and I wasn't gonna let that happen, right? Because, you know, for all our disagreements, Drew's somebody I respect, and he didn't deserve to go out like that, right? So Riley's never quite forgiven me for that, and after she saw this irrelevant thumbnail, which makes it look like maybe Irene might endorse blackface, she got so excited, and she goes off on 25 tweets. This long ass, she live tweets herself watching our relevance video, and just hoping that, like, at the very middle, there's gonna be a chewy Tootsie Roll core for her to enjoy of, like, Irene just canceling herself, and she never got that, and she was really disappointed. And you know, she weird champed. We made fun of her. It was pretty fun. Good times, right? Yeah, Riley hates my guts. Just so everybody's clear on that. Riley absolutely hates my guts.
I'm rooting for Mel here. I'm rooting for Mel on this one.
I agree.
Because honestly, that is a fucking low-ass blow. That is a low, and totally unsubstantiated blow. Completely unsubstantiated. And I can also say that Mel has pushed back against Blanchardism very hard.
Yeah, I mean, from everything I've seen, Mel's good on trans issues.
Very, very hard.
Very, not so good on other things.
So, yeah.
Riley was so good last year when I first found her stream. It's been sad to see her replicate Destiny and alienate people who practically made her an online presence to some extent. Yeah, I commiserate Asha. She was a friend of, or I don't know, she was somebody I had on a few times back in the day. Like, she's one of the few people that cared when I got canceled unfairly for the first time, right?
So that's number one. But now we can dispense. Now that I've gotten the precursor out of the way, I'm gonna get clipped for what?
Oh yeah.
What am I gonna get clipped for? Sorry.
Hey, good point. Good point, Beatrice. You know, the best part of having white hair is that I get that senior discount at breakfast, right? That's pretty sweet, huh, Beatrix? Beatrice? I'm sorry, I famously mispronounce people's names, so yeah.
Did I say something clippable? What did I say that's gonna get clipped? Uh-oh. Oh god, that... See, this is why we don't have a neat. This is why we don't have a neat. Yeah, agreeing with both Mel and DSK in the same week. Wild ride. Oh, I support Mel in this instant, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, DSK's been giving base takes lately.
Don't worry, it's gonna disappear soon. Oh yeah, RGR. Wait, RGR doesn't need stands to do this. RGR fucking watches my streams. I know she watches my streams. I'm no fool.
Hi, Riley. Jeez.
I know how deep the bitterness goes. Oh yeah, we got a hate watch in here. Oh, I know.
I wasn't aware of how bitter the deepness goes, how deep the bitterness goes. I wasn't aware. Jeez, that's scary. Chat, how come everybody that I piss off is some weird champ that's gonna, like, stay mad at me for fucking 2 years? I don't fucking know, dude. Chat, this is fucked up. Like, I swear to God. Like, people get a few little snoot boops from me, and they're fucking enemies for life, right? And even when it hurts them, even when it fucks them over, even when they are staying up late at night to do an NCC watch party, making themselves sick with hate, they still do it. They can't stay away. They can't fucking stay away, chat.
Now, in case you're worried that I'm going to become a Mel stan, let me tell you what I was also celebrating today, okay? And yes, am I being ruthlessly petty today? Am I rounding up drama in a ruthlessly petty way? Yes, I am. But guess what?
Oh, please do some NCC.
Girl boss Marcy has brought my attention to a cancel war between Mel and Kunta J. That's right, Kunta J and Mel fighting today. Yes, and they're going back and forth as we speak. The Mel community and the Kunta J community are crashing into each other like fucking orbital planets smashing into each other. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so wonderful. Nothing like seeing two of the most insufferably uncharitable people caught, like, tearing strips out of each other.
It's hard to pronounce names. Yeah, and it's hard to remember things too, right?
Oh, really, Dangle Bangle? Do you have a link for that? You were telling me Ben Shapiro and Marjorie Taylor Greene are also fighting? I told you, the blood gods have blessed us. The blood gods have blessed us. Now, in the name of always doing my due diligence here, I have indeed looked into the original context of this tweet. And I will say that while this tweet that Mel made is very, very obviously very bad optics, in context, all of the considerations apply. Mel was not actually being racist here. Yeah, I know, but Mel was literally responding comedically to something else. So, and even Marcy. Now, keep in mind, notice here. Here's how I'm going to show you this. I'll defend this real quick. Okay? Mel is responding here to girl boss Marcy. So this was from a conflict between Marcy and Mel. And if you look here, for clarification, yes, it's bad to say the blacks. It is. I agree. But the comedy here is that Mel had to reword something that I said to make it sound more racist. And in doing so, she accidentally got herself canceled by her own mutuals. This is cosmically fucking funny. Yes. Oh, sorry. I can read the tweets out. Well, wait. If I read the tweets out, then I'm going to get clipped. Sorry. You'll just have to. I'm sorry. I don't want to get clipped out of that. Sorry.
Based.
And it is. And look, even Marcy, who was arguing, was like, hey, this isn't like fair to say that, like, you know, Mel wasn't being racist here. Mel was just being, like, made a bad joke. Like, not even a bad joke. She just worded it really poorly. And now, but live by the cancellation, die by the cancellation, as they say. Am I right?
Your waitress thinks you're too... Did you get carded, Beatrice? That's terrible. I can't believe they carded you. Jesus Christ, you gotta prove your age and stuff? Like, they would think that you're just, like, wearing a wig of white hair or somehow pretending to be, you know, old and infirm and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cringe. That's pretty cringe, yeah.
Now let's enjoy our third delivery, courtesy of Dango Bangle, the avatar of news monitoring in the Demon Mama chat and many other chats indeed. The news monitoring avatar. Let me show you. So here we have it. Weird that Blitzer had nothing to say about the overt anti-Semitism of the squad and their de facto support for a genocidal Hamas. Wait, is this the one? Oh yeah, the genocidal Hamas terror regime. As always, two things can be true at once. MTG's statements were absurd, and the media are focusing laser-like on MTG so they can misdirect from the fact that they're completely fine with the squad's blatant blood libeling and anti-Semitism regarding Israel and Hamas. MTG's comments, while nutso, pose zero threat to Jews in the United States. I mean, obviously I disagree. Meanwhile, the Jew hatred of the radical left is generating a massive upsurge in street violence against Jews across the country. Anti-masking advocates...
Wait, so MTG said the Jewish space lasers things, right?
...aren't attacking Jews. Anti-Israel activists are. Now let's find out. Do we have the quote? Do we have the quote tweet by MTG?
Yo, the best is the discounts you get at weed dispensaries, right, Beatrice? You know, you get like cheaper weed.
Because I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene was getting mad at Ben Shapiro. Oh, I know she had to have responded. Let's see. Did she? Let's go find out. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Where's Marjorie Taylor Greene? Where is she? Where the hell is she? Wait, did she get banned? Does she not have a Twitter anymore? Wait, did she get banned?
I mean, she does say some yikes shit.
We have the originals. Yeah! When you've lost Ben Shapiro. Here we go. Vaccinated employees get a vaccination logo to wear, just like the Nazis forced Jewish people to wear a gold star. This is demented nonsense. It is nothing like the Holocaust. And any comparison thereto is both insulting and insane. How can we turn this down?
So just so you know, chat, I've got her a little bit sped up. Don't think that Demon Mama actually sounds like a dolphin when she laughs. That's not true. That's fake news. I wouldn't do you dirty like that, Demon Mama. I wouldn't do you dirty like that.
This fucking, and yet you're gonna go after drag? Come on. Yeah, Sarah Z is pretty based. I like Sarah Z. I don't know what her angle is. I think social media as a whole can be a big problem for sure, but I think finding 10 people with bad takes on...
Yeah, Sarah Zed's pretty based. People who critique Sarah Zed they're pretty cringe usually.
Twitter and acting like it's...
Have you ever met the Sarah Zed hate following? It's very small, but very strange.
Of a larger issue just leads to bad discourse and needless drama, toxicity, or people misconstruing each other. I mean, I don't agree with you.
It just shows you that even she's got haters.
No, I don't disagree with you. I agree with you, Bat Canary. Yeah. It's Zed, you fuck? Okay. Lash me. Lash me. Come on. All right. There you go. You had it. You had your fun. Okay? There you go. A zebra? I'm Zan Zed. True. Zan Zedi. Zan Zedi.
Okay. Starting to drag a little bit, Mama. Here we go. What do we got? What else you got? What else you got?
I will be talking about the Stonewall riots. We're going to be going all in on this. And the reason why is because I really, really do believe.
Okay, so let's see, right here. Okay, this is good. This is good. I'm so glad that she did this.
Operation Pridefall.
I'm so glad that she did this, chat. This is important shit, okay? Listen up. If you've gone to sleep in the past, if you're lurking, whatever, this is actually really important shit. So, if you don't know, there's some people that are really happy about the discord that's been sowed in the queer community because of this fucking Takemeister that we're under, okay? And some of those people are 4chaners. They've got an op to, I don't know, use Pride Month to try to turn opinion against gay people or something like that, right? It's called Operation Pridefall. And Demon Mama's about to tell us all about it.
Has anyone heard about Operation Pridefall? Okay? Operation Pridefall has been around for fucking ever. Isn't it a hoax? Yeah, okay, that's a weird way of wording it. Let me clarify. Pridefall is a poll operation. Yes, it is. It is a poll operation that has been going on for years. At the beginning of Pride, every single year, they begin organizing threads on poll and in other much less public forums. And the goal, and what they do, and this is what they do, is they make fake queer accounts and they spread how do I put this? Very bad arguments and very bad looking images all over the internet in a name to attempt to make Pride fall. What they want to do, and I'm dead serious, the stated objective of Pridefall is to further associate LGBTQ movements, including Pride, with pedophilia. It is a psyop. I'm not kidding you. Now, they're not very good at it, but they have had a number of successes over time. One of the images that was made popular by Pridefall, for example, is that infamous image from Folsom Leather Festival of the girl
No
touching
Devil's
the dog head.
Lettuce?
That was an image that was taken from Pridefall.
Sarah's is awesome.
That was
yeah.
propagated by Pridefall.
So we're talking about the thing that Vaush,
Yes.
the picture that Vaush brought up. You know Yeah, that was part of their thing.
That's the one.
And I think that from what I understand, Lawrence Southern retweeted it, and it's just like it should have all the trappings of like, watch out, don't believe this, do some research in it. But unfortunately, a lot of people didn't.
Scale. Is that a real photo? Yes, but the context is very different than what people tell you it is. Yes, it is a real photo. A woman brought their child to that festival, which I think is not a good idea. But that's on the parent. And secondly, the parent was there with the child. And that they cut that out, by the way. In the full version of the image, the parent is holding the child's hand. Now, I still think that's not a good move. I think that's a pretty fucking bad move. But it's not what it was said that it was, okay? What it was showing, and people say, and by the way, it's not at Pride, and yet people take that picture and say it was at Pride. Azazel Bedazzle with the incredibly, incredibly generous 25 subs. Also, Kezbox, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kezbox. That's very kind of you. Azazel Bedazzle with the incredibly generous 25 Twitch subs. Thank you so very much. Seriously, it is viewers like you who help make this show happen every single day. So thank you very, very much. Thank you. And thank you, Ziggy, for letting me know. A lot of new imps. Fuck yeah. The fault for that photo is on the parents. I agree. See, at first glance, I really didn't think that picture was that bad, but were there details that would change my mind, or I need to learn something? Okay, let me explain why I think that image is not good, okay? First of all, it is very easily manipulatable, which you can't always help, because there's always going to be issues like that. I don't think that a kink leather festival is a good place to bring your child, okay? And here's the reason why. There's numerous reasons. One, I think it's irresponsible. Unless you're like the best parent in the world, I think that is probably an irresponsible parental decision, okay? I think that's an irresponsible parental decision. But secondly, there's another reason, okay? I'm going to explain this, and I want you to think, okay? I want you to think for a second, please. The people who were there are put in an incredibly awkward position. Do you think that a bunch of kinksters who want to go have fun consensually with a bunch of other adults doing whatever shit that they want to do are going to be happy when all of a sudden some fucking dumb shit parent stumbles in with their fucking kid? No, they're not. No, they're not. And listen, I don't know anything about the person in that image, okay? I don't know anybody in that image. But I imagine that was an incredibly awkward situation for every single person involved. And it's very unfortunate that it has been weaponized. That single photo has been unbelievably weaponized against queer people of all types and against Pride, okay? That's fucked. That is really, really fucked. I feel bad for the people who are at the festival, because that's fucking awkward. Yo, can you imagine how fucking horrible it would be if you went to like a strip club and you're like enjoying yourself and then some dumb fuck parent stumbles in with her fucking snot-nosed kid and ruins your time? It would kill the boner of every single person in the room. Massive, just horrible. Now, I don't think that children are like destroyed by seeing a dog mask. I really don't believe that. I think that's the wrong take.
That's the thing that people don't get. Okay, chat. Like
kids are not fucking ruined. Like,
Like, I guess when I first saw people in dog masks, it was a little, like, it was a little shock, too. But having met people that do that, that's what, like, kind of, that's what solves that problem, right? That's what bridges the gap between us. That's what lets us understand, what we ourselves might not be into, right? Is kind of like, being open to people, talking to people, not treating people like the other because they, have something different about them, right? Yeah, I just can't emphasize enough how much, like, I've interacted with a lot of doggos, and every single interaction has been most wholesome. I was never, like, forced into, like, a sexual situation that's not what like, doggos are generally there to play. And like, it's like, I don't know, this fucking idea that like BDSM people have some like evil design to like pull, I don't know. I mean, it's the same kind of shit that gay people get hit with, right? You know, what was the first rap against gay people? Oh, you're recruiting. You're making more people gay. You know, you're like, you know, and in Russia, this translates into a federal prohibition of educating on gay rights in any way, of educating on gay people. Like, right? There's a huge difference between, you know, making an assumption about somebody and you know, kind of keeping your distance versus like actually checking them out and finding out that, you know, they're friends. They're friendly. That's the secret about doggos. You know what? They're friendly. They're really fucking friendly. And they're heckin' wholesome too.
Are you fucking kidding me? Children stay up late to go watch fucking infomercials of Girls Gone Wild. Like, come on. The kids aren't going to be harmed by just seeing that shit. But everybody else involved is going to be incredibly uncomfortable. And that's why I say that it's bad. PDX Commuter on Twitch has some words about this. Let's see. Funny how this turned into some anti-child crusade? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This isn't an anti-child crusade. Listen, look, I grew up, I'm Demon Mama, okay? I'm good with kids. I grew up as basically a second mom in my household. Literally, I raised all of my siblings. I made them dinners. I took care of them. I treated their wounds when they fell while they were playing. But I can tell you that there are times where you do not want to deal with children. If you go to a fancy restaurant, you don't want fucking children screeching while you're trying to enjoy your dinner. If you're at a gaming event where everybody's fucking screaming at each other and insulting one another, you don't want kids running around. It's fucking annoying. And it's especially bad if you're at a fucking kink area. That's not an anti-child take. Are you fucking crazy?
Is she talking to this chat? I think this person in chat's like a chud. I think I know the chatter that she's talking about.
You expected me to say I grew up as a child? Come on, that's silly, PDX. That's silly, PDX. Oh, PDX is a chud? Oh. Okay. You chud it the fuck up? Nice. No one under the age of 12 should be allowed in public venues. You're an idiot. You people are being so stupid. This is what happens. I'm not kidding you. Like, literally last time I went to Walmart, there was somebody fucking hacking up a lung right next to me and they would not go away. They were like literally working while hacking up a lung. It was disgusting. It was horrifying. Thank you so much. Yes, I agree, Socialist Law Dude. Okay, something that you all should know is that this discourse has happened every single year. Was the person coughing Walmart worker? I don't know. They might have been. Which makes me feel bad, but then that just makes me uncomfortable because Walmart's making them work. I have bad experiences with bi women. That doesn't mean I should hate all of them. That's crazy. Yes, you can't do it. And this happens around furry conventions as well. Come on. Come on, everybody. It is a psyop. Of course it is. It literally is a psyop. It's brought up every year by conservatives, and then people get baited into arguing about the nitty-gritty.
That's what I'm talking about, and we saw this in the debate with RGR. Look, when they get you talking about weird champ situations, when they get you talking about a thought experiment, okay, let's see, here's what happens. The child comes up and the kinkster's like there, and like, you know, when they start doing that and you start having to be like, well, no, actually, you know, like, don't fucking go there. If their argument is like some weird fucking contrived situation, make fun of them for it and move on and actually do the discourse like in a way that's not going to lend itself towards their that's their framing. Okay, they want people to think that these issues are about, you know, fucked up situations that happen, when it's like these things are made up. These are thought experiments. These are there's no empirical, they're never talking about a thing that happens. They're talking about a hypothetical thing that could happen. And you almost have to imagine, like, you know, the kind of kinksters that they're thinking of. Like, they, you know, when they think of when they're trying to slime somebody, they think of them as like, well, we know they're starting off with bad intentions. Like, we know that these are not the people that you should like bring your children around. When it's like half of the kinksters like would no, it's like no, why wouldn't you bring your child? You know, like these are good people. good people practice kink. Riley. Yeah. That's what's getting missed.
I know Ada Stardust. It's part of my life.
There's like a fucking like idea that like somehow like the kink nexus is a group of like scary bad people that are up to no good, and it's absolute bullshit.
Part of my life, Ada.
And we should recognize
Good
it
to
as
see you, by the way.
such. As such.
No, Robotic Reborn, outside of just educating them in general. The thing is, the people who know what actually happens at Pride events are not likely to fall to this, for the most part. Sometimes they will, but not always. Nibiru, your school might even be able to help you with that, just so you know. Oh, homophobia and transphobia is on the rise. Absolutely. We talked about this. Well, of course they are, but that's the problem that I was talking about. Well, I guess I wasn't talking about it publicly, but yeah, your school will probably help you with it. Most schools have a medical center that can help you with that. Now, Kink at Pride has been a long-standing one. It's been going since the 80s. Eris also said she's uncomfortable with big crowds, and that's a big part of it. Yeah, look, listen. I don't like going to big events. I don't like going to parades in general. But I am very serious about not propagating very harmful stereotypes against queer communities. Sorry. Yeah. Most streamers hate leaving their homes. I mean, I'm not a shut. Actually, I love leaving my home. What am I saying? Well, how do you feel about cishet kink people being included in Pride LGBTQ community? I don't care. Anybody can be included. I don't care. Just don't fucking do stupid shit. Okay? Anybody, look, you cannot police an inclusive community, and you shouldn't. Who cares? Who fucking cares? You don't know if somebody's actually gay. You don't know if somebody just says they're straight so they don't get in trouble. You know that for a majority of American history, gay people lived completely in the closet. To everyone else's knowledge, they were straight. That's what the closet is all about. That's why we have Pride. Just don't be a fucking shit, okay? Don't try to fucking flex your, like, belonging to a community over other people. Just don't do it. It's shitty. By the way, I'm going to touch on this as well, because I do think that Vaush is correct about this. The biphobia shit has got to stop. And that's another one, by the way, that's been going for, like, fucking 20 years. I'm not kidding you, just so you know. One of my friends has a shirt, a fucking amazing shirt, by the way. They have a shirt that says Gold Star Bisexual. Some of you will find that very funny. Other people won't get it. I'm going to see how many.
Gold stars are...
Gets it.
Hypothetical.
Hey, see, that just goes to show you how many fucking queers we got in this audience. You don't get it? Okay. Back in the day,
there was like a... It was a thing within the lesbian community that, like, some people would talk about, like, are you a lesbian or are you gold star lesbian? The gold star lesbian was if you've never had sex with a man, or, like, that you've only had sex with women, right? And it was, like, sort of used to police people of, like, oh, yeah, but are you, like, a real, like, how valid are you? Oh, and, like, you know, people that were bi were, like, sussed. They were definitely regarded as sus, and you know, kind of pushed to the... so sometimes even just rejected by their partners for that.
Many long ago, in the ancient times, there was Discourse, just like there is today. But it was about gold star lesbians and gold star gays.
I never heard the gold star.
There is so much hatred for bi people. Remember, a lot of the hatred for bi people comes from the same people who hate trans people. TERFs. TERFs, almost always, TERFs and gold star lesbian bullshit are like this. I'm not kidding you. They're like this. Zonia, I've given you some mod privs on Twitch. If you don't need to, you don't have no obligation, but if you want to help, you can. Yeah.
I'm sure that'll end well.
I need to go get a soda. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pop a can. I'll be right back. Prime says, I'm going to be coming out to my parents in non-binary for Pride Month. Do you have any advice on what to say? They're liberal Democrats in Utah, and they're also Mormon. You know your parents better than I do, probably. My advice would just to be as patient as you can with them to begin with. Don't tolerate them being hateful, but be patient. My best friend went to a WLW panel mixer thing, got a bunch of weird stares and obnoxious comments about her stilettos as acrylic nails. That's so weird. Some people are fucking weird. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. And we'll continue talking. We got other stuff to do, too. We got lots of stuff, but I'm enjoying it.
Wait, this is the Eris part? Sorry, Ash, where was that? Did I skip it? Did I skip it? Freya, I did skip it. do I want to see it, or do I just want to, like, maybe chat can just give me a synopsis, right? Because we don't have all the time in the world. I do have to get over to Twitch at some point. All right, so here's Kink Belongs at Pride. We'll watch a little bit of this.
All right, so I'm going to do my Kink at Pride take at long last. After all of the spice and everything, people get to actually hear my take. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Here we go. No, it hasn't been 1 month.
What were you thinking?
It's been like a week and a half. Here's my
What
Kink,
were you
my
thinking?
Kink at Pride. Did I say Pride at Kink? Kink at Pride take. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes, Kink. Absolutely.
Okay, somebody explain. It's coming up. Okay, it's still coming up. Okay, this is Kink at Pride. Okay, that makes
belongs
sense.
At Pride. Okay, and here's the reasons why. Okay, first of all, the fundamental reason why kink belongs at Pride is because at one point in history, and in some places to this day, being gay was considered a kink. Okay. Right now, many people, and I mean a lot of people, consider being trans to be a kink, quote unquote. Now, there are all kinds of opinions on kink. There's all kinds of research that's been done. None of that really matters. What matters is that our society attempts to control other people over things that do no harm. They attempt to control and judge people for who they love, for how they love, and for what they do between consenting adults. And that is fucked. And that is very, very bad. And it has resulted in a lot of death. And I mean that. It has resulted in a lot of death. Okay? And when I say that it's resulted in a lot of death, I mean that very seriously. Okay? Here. I didn't do this before, but I'm going to do it now. Here you go. See? That was a bad one. That was a bad pop. I almost dropped my clove.
Oh my god.
The
I want to do
stigmatization
that.
of queer people has led to lynchings again and again throughout American history. It has led to imprisonment. It has led to disempowerment, poverty, disgusting levels of poverty. It has led to horrific emotional abuse. It has led to silencing, and it still does to this day. In fact, just 2 days ago, on May 24th, 2021, the Republican-controlled Pennsylvania legislature upheld keeping the state law categorizing homosexuality as obscene. Now, in a legal sense, obscene is something that is not fit for any sort of public display. The Republicans in PA, and in the state of PA, it is illegal to be gay in public. Now, as for enforcement, I don't think it's enforced at all. But that doesn't matter. Not necessarily. Because enforcement can change at a moment's notice. The law is supposed to guide enforcement. And if the law says that technically you can arrest people for being gay, for holding hands with their boyfriend in public, or their girlfriend in public, or their them friend in public, that's pretty bad. There are sodomy laws still on the books in many states. Some of them are enforced in order to prevent gay people from expressing themselves in public. Yes, I know. People are surprised by this, but it's true, okay? And I restate, once again, that for many people, even to this day, and I know we all live in, we tend to engage in progressive communities for the most part, all of you who are here, there are, you might be surprised by the fact that there are a lot of people who to this day do believe that that being gay is a kink, but they won't say it like that. See, because we use the word kink. We say the word kink. Progressives know what that is. But see, what conservatives will say is that it's a lifestyle choice. That being gay is a purely sexual decision, right? That no one should have to engage in. Okay? Now, I told this yesterday on my debate with Vaush, but I'm going to say it again here because it's rather important to me. And some of you have heard this before, some of you won't. But there's a lot of new people here today, so I'm going to retell a story, okay? I really am. And by the way, yeah, so let me tell you, okay? When kink and fetish are different words, yes, but people use them interchangeably, okay? So we need to be careful because people use them interchangeably. And we have to teach people that there are differences, okay? And we're getting there.
Is Demon Mama on the right side of this? Oh, with Vaush? I mean, just so people know, Demon Mama and Vaush didn't like they're not burning the bridge. They're not angry at each other. Like, they had a very different take. Vaush wanted Demon Mama to be a little bit more, sensitive to what he'd gone through in terms of getting dogpiled. Demon Mama acknowledged that, but she also said that like his original takes were pretty shit. And they did have a legit disagreement, right? And Demon Mama was kind of brave to voice that because it can be hard if you're sort of in one of these clout networks to actually speak truth to power. And she did that very well. And I'm actually really happy. It's one of the problems that I had with her before when we had the bad blood. was that she wasn't doing that with other cis creators, and you know, she's shown that she is her own mama, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. Like I said, you know, I'm not I was never really against Demon Mama. I was against her silence. And since that silence has turned into solidarity and action, that I don't have that problem with her anymore. If I said that, like, you know, I wasn't hurt by what happened, I'd be lying. But a lot of the critique that I had for her, let's just say, doesn't really apply as much anymore. So I'm feeling a lot better about Demon Mama. And at the end of the day, I don't care whether she likes me or hates me. I care about her takes, and her takes on this were based. So, yay.
Behind me on my shelf, right over there. Right where I'm pointing. Nope. Right here. This one. Not the book. The paper. I did this the other day, and it's a problem with the angle of the camera. Fuck me. You can't even see it. It's off screen. I didn't even realize it. It's off cam. Ah, shit. Fuck. Wrong way. God damn it. This is a mess. There you go. Right here. That right there is one of my cursed artifacts. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. That is one of my cursed artifacts. That is a letter from my stepdad. My late stepdad. He's no longer alive. And in that letter, my stepdad promises that if I ever show up with my freak flag flying, that's the word that he used to describe what you see me now. You see me now just in normal clothing. This is what my stepdad would have described as my freak flag. Because in his mind, being trans was a purely sexual act. Being a freak, being a deviant, engaging in a fetish. And he threatened to kill me with a shotgun if I ever came to my house, and the justification was that I was bringing a kink, a fetish, to his children's place where his children lived, my siblings who I loved dearly and took care of for most of my life. This is the justification that countless people use to justify kicking their children out, okay? I'm serious. I'm not kidding you, okay? This is what they say. I'm not going to let this happen in my house, because the implication, if you listen in and listen to the reasoning, this is what we're trying to do here, is get to the bottom of things, because the justification is I don't need to accept my child engaging in something, and when I say child, I don't mean literal child. I mean your offspring. I don't need to enable my offspring to engage in something that I think they have a choice in, such as being gay or being trans.
Yeah,
because fundamentally,
the theory that, like,
these people see
that people become trans because they
as lifestyle
are around it or something.
Fetishes. They don't use those words, okay? But we have to be smarter than to listen to just the words they say. We have to come to understand the reasons, the way that they build their ideas. So.
And it all comes from seeing trans people's identity as fundamentally sexual, and therefore fundamentally wrong.
That position. And what this illustrates is that there is a very, very broad area of what people consider sexual or not, of what people consider fetish or not, of what people consider kink
It was
or not.
the...
Okay? I'm serious.
I've had bad experiences with bisexuals,
I believe,
but I don't hate all bisexuals comment.
Reasoning.
I think I just misheard it.
On whatever concern trolling bullshit.
Wait, was it there? Was it? Oh, sorry. Did it just happen? I'm sorry.
And other hardcore right-wing religious groups are responsible for banning all kinds of art, for ruining the lives of gay people all over the country. Not all Christians, mind you, but the religious right, which is most Christians in this country.
Did that just happen, Ash?
And
did I miss it?
As a result, they will say anything.
I'm sorry.
They will say gay people are. They will say, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, we need to determine if there is harm being done.
Okay,
does that make sense? So I'm trying to lay this out.
Put it back to like 140. Yeah, 148.55.
And what this illustrates is that there is a very, very broad area of what people consider sexual or not, of what people consider.
Was Eris in chat?
Of what people consider kink or not. Okay.
Whatever Eris said about her experience wasn't an excuse to hate all pride parades. Is Eris in chat?
We should use much better reasoning instead of relying.
It was a while back.
Whatever concern trolling.
Oh, okay. So it's not even. It's
Christians
okay. It's not even here.
Christians and other hardcore right-wing religious groups are responsible for banning all kinds of art, for ruining the lives of gay people all over the country. Not all Christians, mind you, but the religious right, which is most Christians in this country. And as a result, they will say anything. They will say gay people are, they will say, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, we need to determine if there is harm being done. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to lay this out so it's a very clear argument. First of all, anti-gay people see being gay as a fetish. That is
okay. So people were mentioning it in her video. It's somewhere in the spot, I guess.
Not something being a fetish is not a good reason to justify it not being allowed in public. Understand? That's the logic. Because Christians can say anything is a fetish. They can say they're uncomfortable.
Okay, well, chat, here's the deal. I'm not going to go through here and, like, try to find this. Like, we're not trying to, like look up and, like, unlike Destiny, I'm not, like, you know, the Schadenfreude type that when two people who've been shitty to me fight, that I, like, inherently enjoy that, okay? And yeah, Demon Mama and Eris have been shitty, to me, but I don't want to concentrate on that. Honestly, like, the drama's over. I'm not looking to return to that. Just know that Eris has lied about me in a way that echoes a transphobic trope. She has, like, basically spread a lie about me, because she was mad at me for calling her out for being Dylan's conduit for his hate against me when he did. She brought him on and he just went off. He axe grinded against me. So I criticized that video. Eris got mad and made up this lie about me. And she's been using it all around Twitch to kind of like just poison people's mind. And if you don't know who Irene is, then you might believe, I don't know. I've seen her go off on some pretty angry streams. Maybe she gave a death threat. No, chat. Nope. Nope. No, I didn't. Believe it or not, not all trans women are inherently violent. Thank you very much, Eris. So yeah, people do need to be careful when they're like, when they're talking, like, not to activate transphobic tropes. And it'd be one thing if it was just a lie to try to, kind of socially fuck me over and, get back at me or whatever. But this was a lie that had the force of wind of transphobia behind it. So now, get this right. I'm being super good faith here, and I'm not going to say that Eris was being transphobic. However, I will say that her accusations against me harnessed the power of transphobia and hurt me extra because of that, right? Because apparently she doesn't care enough to pick and choose her lies about people that she's trying to fuck over. So yeah, not a good person at all. Not somebody to trust, and also not a leftist. Just so you know, we're talking about a reactionary when we're talking about Eris. We're not talking about a leftist. I don't know why people think it's cute to kind of like, include a reactionary in their social networks, but like, yeah, it's actually really disturbing to me. But that's all I'll say about that, because we're not going to linger on that shit. Like I said, that shit is toxic.
With gay people existing.
And Eris is toxic.
They can say they're uncomfortable. Remember that video that I watched on my stream in my spiritual deconstruction of my old pastor? Doing the big rant about masculinity and how men expressing their feelings disgusts him? Wow, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And there's a lot of people who believe like that.
But yeah, watch my old videos on her if you need any more explanation than that. I'm not going to revisit this drama.
Because there are some people who see that men who have a lisp, or men who talk lightly, or men who aren't strong are gay. And that is a sign of degeneracy. So it is not good reasoning to say that if something is considered a kink by some group of people, that therefore it should be outlawed in public. Does that make sense? Instead, what we should do is we should try and make arguments based on whether there is harm. And this leads to my second point, which is that I don't think that people are harmed by simply witnessing the existence or even the performance of most, if not all, kink. Now, there are, of course, some exceptions. There are, of course, extreme examples. We already have restrictions against things like, I don't know, a circle of people bukakeing on the face of their partner in public, okay? Of course, we know this. There are obviously limits to this. Obviously. But I don't think that it's responsible to make arguments that just because some people...
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, yes, it's possible that somebody could do a bukake with their partner in public, okay? Until bukake with your partner in public becomes a big issue, until it starts happening and it's like, oh, geez, there's too much bukake in the partner with public. What am I saying? There's too much bukake in public with a partner. right, going on, and I can't get outside my house without, you know what I mean? Until that becomes a real problem, any like statement of like, you know, we really need to make a law against bukkake in the public with the, you know, like we really need to go, like, you know, that's a moral panic, right? You know, when you're kind of like making up a problem that doesn't exist in order to fuck over some marginalized group. Kind of like what Eris did.
Or something too sexual, that means that it should never be allowed to see the light of day. Because at the end of the day, I don't think there was harm done. And harm has to be established if we're going to ban something from public, or if we are going to argue.
Harm and the actual instance of it happening, right? A lot of the shit that was made up was just like either stuff that didn't happen at Pride, so it didn't have anything to do with Pride, or, you know, just straight up didn't happen.
I'll address that.
A lot of the shit is thought experiments. What happens if a pervert does, you know, like, it's just like, it's moral panic, right? And we've seen enough of we've seen enough moral panic in history. I think, I don't know, Chad, are you good on moral panic?
With some exceptions.
We had the witch trials, we had the satanic panic. I think we're good on moral panics. We had the drug war, hey, moral panics, yeah?
So this is a warning that I'm using extreme examples to illustrate a point, okay? So please refrain from mischaracterizing me while I'm explicitly saying that I'm using this as an example of a point, okay? Here we go. Wedding rings, okay? Wedding rings are a completely...
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Eris posted some cringe. Like, I mean, she's not, like, super right-wing or anything, but she is, you know, not... Yeah, I mean, she...
Totally acceptable.
You don't get that you shouldn't be that surprised when somebody that's not a leftist, like, you know, gives you like a non-leftist take, right? It's like you kind of did that yourself by like you know, including her into your network to be hooked up to people that she's hooked up to, right? This is the problem with the left right now, is that there's too much transactionalism. There's too much, you know, of just like, oh wait, does, you know, being friends with them, does that benefit me, or does that, you know, like, there's too much of that shit, right? And it's like as much as, like, you know, Vaush always talked about, like, we don't want to have purity tests, right? A certain ideological purity test seems to make sense, right? I mean, unless you just love being infiltrated by the right. I don't know, that could be something that some people are into. Not me though. I'm kind of not about that.
Of dominance and submission. Okay? And you might not believe me on that, but I want you to think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. We have different rings for the man and the woman in a relationship. One is a simple gold band, and the other is usually a bedazzled diamond ring. Why is that? Well, that is because the man is the strong band that keeps things together, and the woman is the beautiful diamond that must be protected. You get passed off to your husband by your father, correct? And rings are literally supposed to show mutual ownership.
Oh my God, yeah.
And if you follow the Christian tradition, like I used to, growing up in an extremist cult, you will be taught, and many of you may have encountered this in your life, even not a part of an extremist cult. Many Christians are familiar with this, with the idea of women, and this is a verse, women, submit to your husbands. That is a Bible verse that is incorporated into standard wedding vows.
Yes, I think it's followed up with go into the kitchen and make him a sandwich.
But rings are all over the place. Ownership, wedding rings are all over the place.
And make sure not to talk to the men that you do react content to.
And we know that people get horny for that shit. Both people wear rings. Yeah, so what? So what? Nuts, how does that change anything? Would this point still be salient if both people had identical rings? Of course it would. Because you can look at what those things actually mean, what they're broadcasting to the world. And I don't think that there is much difference between, on a pure level, between a wedding ring and a collar.
Oh yeah, this is a good point.
Except for societal stigma.
Culture, it's just culture,
and I recognize that societal stigma is important to consider. The radical left, I can bring that up. Here you go. Here we go. Here, I'll give you an example. Here you are. There you go. This is what we're talking about right now. Fish aren't as owned and domesticated as a dog. They're worse. Dude, fish have it way worse than dogs. Fish have it way worse than dogs. So there you go. There's your mask. Now, some people might look at this and go, wow, that's kind of horny. Some people might look at that and go, oh, that's kind of cool. You want to see another example of a mask that some people might do that with? I'm going to show you another one. Ready?
diamond rings were actually only created 100 years ago to create a demand, quote unquote. Yeah, this is an industry thing. It's literally capitalism that makes you think that no, dude, the diamond ring is like that's part of getting married, right?
Ready?
Oh, also diamonds apparently shouldn't be as costly as they are. It's like something about the way that the industry works that actually keeps their price up. Yeah, there's a lot of weird, a lot of the weird fucked up things about how our world works are directly relatable to capitalism.
I'm gonna blow your minds because you're about to realize why this argument is stupid and why I have problems with it. Okay, are you ready? Are you fucking ready? Here we go. Here it comes. Wait, hold on a second. That's not the right one. Hold on. Give me a second. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh, is that Bat Dad? The guy that does the videos is...
And which one of these is not kink?
It depends. It depends on what your kink is, doesn't it?
Which one of these is okay to be in public and will do harm to children? And which one of these is not okay to be in public, or which one of these is not okay to do in public and will hurt and will harm children?
Oh yeah, I know, Beatrix. Batman's pretty scary. I freaked out the first time I saw Batman Mask 2. I know what you mean, yeah.
Which one would not? You would confer to the wisdom of the masses on this one? Well, then you're a fool.
We can settle on Letterman jackets? Like, what, high school jackets?
So yeah.
The scarcity of diamonds is a manufactured concept?
Those masks are almost identical. Oh yeah, there's even bat nipples. Yeah, remember the bat nipples? Oh shit, look at that. Oh, are we gonna go there?
I don't remember the bat nipples.
Fucking the most famous. This was a movie aimed at children.
Oh
my god.
Okay.
Batman
yeah, that's bat nipples. That's true.
They even took the time to detail his nipples.
They got those nipples detailed. Okay,
Damn.
well, Batman's got nipple. Batman can show his nipples. Apparently, I can't. I get in trouble if I show mine, but Batman can.
But guess what? Those parents were wrong. They were wrong. They were fucking wrong. Those parents were fucking wrong. There's no harm of a game existing in a store and a child seeing that game, even if it is referencing sexual content.
Bayonetta cover? Wait, are they talking about Bayonetta?
Completely silly.
Are they talking about Bayonetta in chat?
Incoherent.
It's funny. We had like.
Though that is not
I think I opened up with some like Bayonetta music the other day, and I had like her ass on chat like for half of the oh my god, we're talking about Catherine. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of
let's not. I could go into that.
Atlas fans here. Atlas Games.
I'm going to give you another quick example, and I'm going to give credit here to Silent for putting this argument together for me. Okay? So some of you are going to go, well, the context is super, super important. And I agree with you. Context is very, very important. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the content, that even in context, that it would be harmful. And let me show you an example of this, right? Real quick, I'm going to do a vote in chat. We're going to do a quick poll. And yet, we recognize that children simply seeing the uniform that you would kill people in doesn't harm them. Sorry, survive being shot. Yeah.
Good
hey,
argument.
Thank you so much,
Abdel Silent there.
Thank you so very much. Homophobia. And specifically, a society-wide stigmatization of AMAB sexuality. No one bats an eye. If I bring up, in fact, I could do it right now. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. Watch this. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on a second. Give me a second. In fact, I'm going to do it live.
We're going to do it live. We'll do it live, chat. We'll do it live. What is she doing? Playing games?
That was super, super easy. Damn. Let me tell you something else. It isn't just gay men, by the way. If you're straight, real quick question. This is just a quick audience poll, okay? Have you ever kissed your girlfriend? This is for cishet people only. Cishet people only. Have you ever kissed your girlfriend in public? I know you have. If you have a girlfriend. Some of you might be virgins or whatever or not had girlfriends, okay? That's fine. No shame, okay? That is not only, I would argue that is a intimate and sexual act. And I would also be willing to guess. We have too many gay people in.
Too many gay people. They're skewing the polls. Gay people, what the fuck? What the fuck?
On.
Chat devolves into JoJo? When does that happen? Is that soon? Is that coming up?
Come on.
Chat devolves into JoJo? That's fucking based.
And I want to put another pointer on it that the flashing argument is.
I'm not sure how much JoJo Demon Mama really knows though, right? I don't know if she can how much she can play along. How far does anybody know how far Demon Mama's watched JoJo?
And I want to put
if she's read any of the manga.
Another pointer on it that the flashing argument is fucking.
I think she knows who Jolene is, so yeah, she knows something about JoJo.
Sensical. It is a flawed argument because in the case of flashing, someone is going out of their way to infringe on your consent. This is not the case with any public festival.
Okay. Some based arguments. Anything else? Is this where the JoJo comes up?
We got it. We got it. All right, be right back.
Okay, anyway, on that note, chat, here, actually, let me give you one more take on this, okay? There's let's see. There was another streamer that had a pretty good take on this. Let's see. For somebody who hates moralizing, he sure does an awful lot of it. Anyway, get yourself in trouble again, Irene. During this arc of No Comment Chick, I have to find true love and figure out what does true love mean for a hologram. Because if I don't, then the season ends with me turning into seafoam, and that's not very fun. Oh yeah, chat, right? You gotta pay attention. Like, so, and maybe you're gentrifying, like, pride. Yeah, I masturbate sometimes, right? That's not a spicy take now. She is very much taking a risk. She is very much putting it on the line, and I'm very much here for that. I am very much here for that. Yeah, if she'd been more in this mindset, I would have been in trouble. I would have been in real trouble there. So it was a little bit of a, like, you know, an attitude of like, hey, you know what, deal with it. In the original Pride. And so the concern there is that gets diluted when you make Pride into, like, you know, a family-friendly event. So it's a really tough question. And I almost feel like, you know, I don't have a dog in the fight. I've never been. But I do have a gator. Like, public expression of sexuality for myself. I might not have a dog in the fight, but I have a gator. I don't know. Chat, the reason I like trans Pride is that, like, I don't know, I don't feel as accepted, like, in the larger LGBT community. Do you know what I mean? You've got a lot of people with very different ideas about what Pride should be, regarding, you know, what Pride has been in the past, regarding what Pride represents now. It's a question that I don't have any easy answers for. I guess that's what I'm saying. So if you're willing, let's delve into some takes that have been made today on the subject of kink at Pride. Or really, I guess what we're talking about is any overtly sexual dress, behavior at Pride. I've only been at Pride as a spectator, so I feel like it isn't my place to say. Yeah, like, I kind of feel like the same way, because I'm not, like, really, you know, super comfortable at the Pride events. Like I said, like, I feel a lot, like, more welcome at, like, trans Pride. When gay rights started, it wasn't a polite tap straight people on the shoulder and say, excuse me, have you considered that I'm a human being? Like, right? It's not confrontational, because at the time, the violence of the state was being enacted to suppress gays, and, like, any queer culture at all was basically at risk of being shut down at any time by the cops. Some people decided that they didn't want to accept that anymore. So yeah, I guess what I was trying to say about, like, me and my experience as, you know, having undergone a lot of, like, assimilation in order to make my life, like, livable for me and be treated anywhere close to how I want to be treated. Because of that, I'm very cautious against, like, losing stuff that might be queer culture to that impulse to assimilate, because I guess I'm afraid of losing, you know, parts of myself in that. And so, you know, I don't want to just, you know, I mean, like, I guess I'm understanding, because, like, on one hand, you've got people that they want to take their kids to Pride because they want their kids to understand. We got some auras in chat. We got some JoJo. That it's not, like, this scary, you know, thing. She didn't weigh in on JoJo's. Yeah, I don't think she knows. I don't think she's watched kids that are coming out to, like, she's probably watched Golden Wind, right? Queer culture, at least Golden Wind. Maybe where the concern comes from, people wanting it to be more family friendly, but at the same time, like I said, the original queer movements were about confronting cis normativity with that which they were most afraid of. Like, was not about censoring yourself, was not about hiding your sexuality, or it was about absolutely being like, okay, you know what, we're here, and this is who we are, and deal with it. Like, it is absolutely that kind of confrontational energy, which I don't think it would have happened without that confrontational edge, and I'm really kind of wary to lose that. It can be used as a tool to exclude people. Yeah, and that's the other thing that people worry about, is it's kind of like, yeah, a slippery slope. Like, okay, like, how family friendly is Pride going to need to become, right? Like, is this church now? Things like marriage, raising children, this was not allowed to queer people. This was absolutely, like, unthinkable, right? And so the fact that we have those options and some of us choose to go that route, it does reflect a changing queer community. But is it a changing queer community that is going to alienate its most radical and vital elements, right? I just don't want to be dismissing inclusivity as assimilation. Well, I mean, it's a question of it. Is it assimilation or not, right? I guess what I'm saying is that when queer culture rose up, it had freed itself from some of the strictures of heteronormativity that went beyond just like who you have sex with, right? And that might represent progress that was made without really being recognized, right? Greater acceptance of sexuality in general. And I think that most of the queer community does, rep that. I almost said aesthetic.
And that's why I'm really bucking against this like impulse to kind of
Vaush's take was a bit hyperbolic and weird. Oh, okay. So you're okay. So you don't want to be associated. Oh, I'm sorry, Leftist Al.
Anyway,
Okay, so there are various gradations in this question, and nuance is important. And I don't want to kind of put you together with a view that you're not completely comfortable with it. And it sounds like there's some daylight between your take and Vaush's take. So sorry for misinterpreting that. Don't mind Vaush. I think he's a bit wrong on this take. No, I didn't say Vaush bad. Thank you very much. There's an argument to be made that part of pride is pushing what society is comfortable with, right? Prior to like the gay rights movement, queer people were invisible. Talk about assimilation. You would literally have to invent a fake straight life to pass off to your friends and family to make them think you're an okay person, because like it was not okay to be gay back in the day. That rhymes. What is pride about? Is it a celebration of queer people and culture, or is it about pushing the boundaries? Well, like, listen, for queer people to be acceptable, the boundaries had to be pushed. Like, let's not forget that this began in a riot. Like, this began from queer people being chased around the city, having their clubs shut down. Anytime that they try to have, like, a normal time with somebody of the same sex, like, they were in danger of being raided, arrested, harassed, beaten, all this shit. And there was one group of queers that said they'd had enough, and they fought back. And that event was a watershed for queer rights. I think that the reason that these questions are hard is that these are things that we haven't really dealt with yet. The idea of consent is something that has undergone a lot of, I guess, renovation, improvement, strengthening, buffing. The idea of the concept of consent, let us say, has been buffed. I don't think we should move past the riot. We do not have equal rights until we do. We should continue to push the envelope. I'm not one who puts much stock in tradition, so even if it started out as a riot, it doesn't mean it should always be a riot. Boobs need to be normalized anyway, and that's an easy take. Of like, hey, wait a minute, why do I have to cover these up and a guy doesn't, right? Is that really right? Do we want to be so then we start to see that some of these mores that we have that we think are like, okay, well, we know what's a sexual part and what's a non-sexual part, what's an okay part to, we know, like, right, we know, but we're wrong. We have a sexist idea of what that is. We have an idea that says like one gender can show their nipple and the other gender, their nipples need to be guarded away somewhere in a tower, right? Guarded by a dragon and a moat, all that shit.
Yeah.
The whole shebang in the Middle Ages, right? Chat, all that shit. Chat,
Here's my deal.
Okay. I think we were looking at Bayonetta's butt like the whole time. Nice butt, Bayonetta. I'm not threatened by you having a nice butt. That is
it's time for my Twitch stream. So yeah, anyway, that's another video.
I want you all to
but yeah, I just wanted to give my this is my take on Pride, and nobody can give it quite as fast as Speedy Take Irene. So here's the deal, chat. If mods could spam my link for Twitch in the chat, go ahead and spam that. So we're gonna end stream here, but we're not ending the night. Okay, we're gonna do more fun stuff over on Twitch. You can follow me over there at Twitch/nocommentchick, and we're gonna be streaming for quite some a little bit longer. So I'm gonna shut the stream down now, and mods, if you could like if anybody can grab that nocommentchick Twitch link and just spam it in chat a few times. Yeah, see you over on Twitch. Unless there it is. Okay, that's it. I wonder if we have a command for that, or if I should just like copy this. Can I like copy you? But anyway, that's the link right there. You're gonna go own Destiny at Terraria? Nice, nice. Well, have fun, Ash, and say hi to Parinstany for me. I will talk to you all later, chat. Thank you for being here. I will see you over on Twitch. So, yeah, fly my pretties. Fly my pretties. There's the link right there. Click on that link. That stream should be live really soon. I'm gonna exit out of this, and I'm gonna flip around and just get right on Twitch. So, I'll see you after that. All right. Meow, meow. Moi, moi, cute.